We are judges in this instance. We are trying to show you the importance of humor. From the paper that I found, you'll see that there are still members have been involved along the value chain. And that's why you're going to experience this amazing setup was can be citrus back. I reach and put it on here. A tropical palette. And a very sweet and creamy aroma. Dear judges, I now invite you to join our amazing team as the consumers and enjoy this amazing signature beverage. Dear judges, you're going to swallow 3 times, and then on the first sip, you're going to notice a medium and balanced citrus acidity. And as I leave today, I would like to emphasize and show the importance of humor. Without one member in this popularity, this dream wouldn't have happened. And therefore, say thank you very much for giving me your time. It's been a pleasure serving you.
Required as needed in real time.
Thank you so much.
So we have different dignitaries that are joining us today, especially for the business forum. We have representatives from Uganda Revenue Authority, we have Equity Bank, among others, and also the Ministry of Finance is represented. So we will be having the minds that matter discussing Africa's business. Now, in the case of Uganda, we know that coffee is the bedrock of Uganda's economy. And with that, last year, 2024, we exported over 642,000 bags, 60 kilo bags. And according to the Minister of Finance, we have had surges in coffee exports, where we have the surge was at around $133 million, which is about 488 billion Uganda shillings. So we are doing so well. But then, according to the president of Uganda, we need to add value to our coffee, because on the international market, a kilo of processed coffee is $40 vis-a-vis unprocessed coffee, which goes for $25. So when you look at the numbers, of course, the mathematicians normally tell us that the numbers do not lie. So we need to add value, and when we add value, we will have job creation, and of course, as a country, our exports will grow, and we will not have to depend on the export of raw materials or raw coffee. So we all need to now channel our energies into adding value to Uganda's coffee.
After this, I'm going to request Panelist so that you take over the next part of the competition. Thank you.
So the competition is ongoing, and the baristas are still doing their thing. We have the judges awarding them the marks, and we will, at the end of the day, have a winner.
Vico Shamila Mustafa, our second contestant in the finals out of 6. And we are starting in 5, 4, 3. All right, just a second. So let's get ready. You ready? Okay. Just some coffee.
Inspire Africa is bringing us the Barista competition, and we are at the finals. Shamira is one of the finalists. She's going to be doing her thing, making coffee, espressos, and a signature, and the judges will be awarding her marks.
Very proud and passionate of producing coffee in Bugisu in Bale district on the slopes of Mountain Elgon at an elevation of 200 meters above the sea level. Dear judges, please allow me extract my espresso shots for my signature drink, and I'll join you shortly with my espresso. Dear judges, as I set my shots for my signature drink aside, please prepare yourself for my espresso course. In order to obtain balance in my espresso, I mainly focused on the roast profile, whereby I use the medium roast. I also focused on the temperature while roasting, whereby I use 205 degrees Celsius. This washed Arabica coffee was fermented for 3 days for mucilage breakdown, where the damaged cherries were sorted out and were left with a parchment. It was later on dried under shade for 20 days, which gave us more sweetness and vibrant acidity. Dear judges, in my espresso today, you will experience the floral aromas, the fruity flavors, the medium acidity with a sweet dark chocolate aftertaste. Please enjoy. Dear judges, once you're done with your evaluation, please take some sips of water as you prepare for my milk course. In my meal course, I mainly focused on the coffee I used earlier in my espresso because of the more sweetness that was produced during the fermentation process. In this mixture of espresso and milk, we find ourselves into the reality. And it is always important to seek for flavor notes whenever milk is mixed with our coffee. As I prepare my beverage, let's talk about what you'll experience. In my milk beverage, you'll experience reduced bitterness, please enjoy. Butterscotch, creamy mouthfeel, with a lingering finish. Dear judges, once you're done with your evaluation, please take some more sips of water. Coffee is mainly preferred as an addictive drink by most individuals, but I personally prefer coffee as a magical drink. For my signature drink today, I mainly focused on our espresso, whereby I used 4 shots, the orange juice, which is 20 grams, the date juice, whereby I used 20 grams, the pineapple juice, whereby I used 20 grams, and the sugar syrup, whereby I used 15 grams. I'm now going to mix. Dear judges, in my signature drink today, you'll experience the floral aromas, the green apple, the guava, the hazelnut, the citrus flavors, plus the medium citrus aromas. Please enjoy. Dear judges, thank you for coming and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you my knowledge about coffee. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a big round of applause to Madame Shamila for doing an incredible job. Let us also give a big round of applause to our judges for making sure this happens. I want to thank you all. This was the first set. There is another set for Motu, then another set for Motu. But for now, I'm waiting for Canary to take on the next session, very brief session. Once Canary is here, he will guide us on what we are doing next. But just to give you a brief background about this competition, we started with 79 participants from across the country. The knockout stages were at Inspire Cafe in Top Towers, Nakasero, where we got the top 20, the creme de la creme. Yesterday, we had some finals. Some finals, we had the 20. Now, we got the final 6. From the final 6, 2 so far are presented. 4 more are going to do their presentation. After that, by end of today, we're going to be announcing the first ever Inspire Africa Barista champion. And then the team from Inspire will tell us what that person will be going away with. All right, so at this moment, allow me say that we're going to do just one more set. Just one more person, one more participant, then we can go into the other part of the function. Ladies and gentlemen, team Inspire Africa that have put this together, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Uganda Bati. Thank you so much, Equity. Thank you so much, all our partners that have been part of this. Thank you so much for making sure this happened. Our next participant is, please come on stage and welcome on stage Mr. Yusuf Abdul. Mr. Yusuf Abdul is already with us here. Mr. Yusuf Abdul is from Gulf and Blends Coffee. Gulf and Blends Coffee. He is going to be our next participant. I'm going to request the judges to please once again make your way up on stage. Make your way up on stage as we head into the third participant. Once this participant is done, I know Canary is putting together a program for all of us to get back into the other space for the business forum to commence. We have already started. Just like Inspire Africa, people know us for being disruptive. Not every business forum and things starts with opening remarks and things. Today, we have started with the young people. Today, we have started with talent. Those asking when the business forum starting, we have already started. So we are already in the middle of the business forum. This is how we do it. For us, we live in the future. Experience coffee, hands-on, first-time experience. Most of us didn't know what happens behind these machines and how our coffee gets onto the table. This is the process that happens. When you order for a cappuccino, when you order for a latte, or an Americano, or an espresso, or a frappe, or a frappuccino, any blend, this is what happens behind the machines. And the judges, are you ready? All right. As we wait for the judges to get ready, you can also go out there and order. Today I want to request you to order for a coffee you've never taken before. Don't order cappuccino, don't order latte, don't order African coffee. Yeah? Ask the baristas, what do you have that they have never had? Yeah? So that you get something from the pack that you know I cook, how do they call it, a cosmopolitan. Yeah?
Well,
from the pack.
we are at the Barista competition, the Inspire Africa Barista Championship. And the first segment has ended. We have participants that are competing for a prize that will be revealed at the end. Now, they started with 79 participants in Kampala at Tweed Towers at the Inspire Africa Cafe. And from those, they picked now the best 20 that they brought to Ntungamo here at the Africa Coffee Park. Now, of those, some were left behind yesterday. So today we have the finalists, and at the end of the day, we will know who is the winner. We will know who will be crowned as the Inspire Africa Coffee Barista of the year 2025. And from there, we will know their future. How are they going to go? Now, I like their tagline is that they are here to be disruptive. They live in the future, and with that it means that we are not just looking at today, but we are looking at tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, that's where conversations about value addition come in. So today we will be conducting the Africa Business Forum, and the theme is innovation, value addition. That's the theme that we will be looking at: innovation, industrialization, and value addition. And now I am joined by the chief barista of this whole Inspire Africa Barista competition. Good morning and you're welcome.
Good morning, how are you? My name is
Simon
Aidodo. Ochen Simon Aidodo.
All right, Ochen, nice to meet you. What you're doing here is pretty amazing. Please tell us more about the barista competition, what inspired it, and of course what to expect.
Okay, the barista competition is about engaging the youth and trying to woo them to come into the value chain of coffee production. And in this particular competition, the barista serves three sets of drinks. That is the espresso base, and then we have a milk-based beverage, and then signature drink. All this competition is giving the platform for the barista to showcase what the people in the value chain are doing, because the barista is the one who is the final person closer to the final consumer within the value chain of coffee production. So what we are showcasing here, in a period of 15 minutes, the barista should be able to give the story from the farm to the cup in order to make or to give the customer a flavor experience that starts from the garden to the cup. So this is what we are doing here, but also accompanied with customer care skills, presentation skills, all those together wrapped in 15 minutes. So 12 drinks, 15 minutes with all the coffee knowledge, right from the cup to the from the farm to the cup. Yes. So we appreciate the entire value chain of coffee production within 15 minutes. Yes. Okay.
Now, from the farm to the cup, onto the table where the client is probably seated. Now, tell us about the end goal. You had 79 participants. You brought 20. Tell us, how many do we have today? How many did you drop off yesterday?
Okay, the competition starts with the preliminary stage. We had 75 participants in the preliminary stage, and we had to get 20. And then from the 20 to take you through the semifinals. From the 20, we only get the crema de la creme, 6 of them, to tussle for one position as a champion of the Inspire Africa Barista Championship, who is actually, I would say, the whole representative of Uganda, because I can tell you, Inspire Africa is doing everything for the country. All the youth participated in this competition from all regions of the country. Within the 75, even within the finals, they are all from the different regions of this country. So we want the one winner to take the trophy. But of course, we appreciate also the top 3 by giving them some trophies from that. After that, we do not know what happens next. It is the CEO, Dr. Tugume Nelson, who is going to give us the final verdict. Maybe, as he talked yesterday, the champion might go with him to World of Coffee in Geneva come October. Yes.
Do we know? So right now what you're telling me is that we do not know what the prize is going to be, the prize for the winner. Is that what you're saying?
We do not know what the prize is, but we have the trophies for the top 3. Yeah, but the prize is a surprise. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, as a barista yourself, would you say that Ugandans have started appreciating coffee more? Because we export the most coffee. We are second on the African continent, but most people take tea. So are you saying, would you say that more and more people are starting to appreciate coffee in Uganda?
Yes, I do say the rate at which now coffee is being consumed because of this kind of initiatives is growing high. Myself, I come from the background of a journalist. I joined the coffee industry in 2012, whereby the rate of domestic coffee consumption was around 2%. Now we are going to about 6 to 8% of the rate of domestic coffee consumption. But what brought in this? Number one, it was the Barista competition that was being run by UCDA by then. And then now we are having more other partners coming on board to support and push forward. I want you to learn one thing. A barista is the salesman of this, because he's the final person who meets the consumer, whom everybody is targeting, the drinker. So through this kind of events, we shall be able to even elevate, increase on the rate of domestic coffee consumption, but also, most importantly, attract the foreigners and also market the greener part, which we sell as exported to the world, but at a good price. You heard what the CEO, Dr. Tugume, said, that before they were giving peanut. But I can guarantee you, even right now, through our competitions, the game has changed. We talk about the flavors. We talk about different origins. We talk about unique processing methods. We talk about our roast profiles, which before, that time before the competition started, it was not heard of in Uganda. But now it's coming out, and the relationship between all the participants in the value chain of coffee production is improving every day, every day. Right now, the price of coffee, because of this effort, has increased.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Ocean.
Thank you so much, UBC. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please, let's support the cause and let us promote and support coffee value chain production.
Okay. Thank you. Well, you are joining us from Ntungamo Highlands at the Africa Coffee Park. Now, the Africa Business Forum is about to kickstart. We have a panel and we have different representatives from different sectors that will be joining us in that panel. So stick with us, because we will be bringing you more and more of this event live at UBC, your number one station, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation.
Dear judges, the reason why I chose this coffee is because of its unique character. It balances so well with the milk that I'm using. And the milk that I chose today is a full cream milk, which is remarkably known for its fat content and protein. Judges, as I serve you my milk course, please evaluate the creamer. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Judges, please clear your palates as we dive into our last course, which is the signature course. And in my signature course, I'd like to affect these ingredients into my coffee, my 4 shots of espresso that I had just left down to cool. I started with my 20 mils of orange juice, to bring out these citrus notes. And I'm also adding my 20 mils of my grapefruit juice to bring out this lime with orange sweetness. And I'm adding my 30 mils of condensed milk to bring out this creamy mouthfeel and giving it more sweetness. Dear judges, I'll add my 50 mils of ice cubes into my signature drink to give it a very interesting and balanced taste. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Dear judges, it's been a pleasure meeting you here today. And for my baristas, the farmer, Mr. Kayango Twaha, and you, the judges, I would like to say thank you so much for this tremendous time you've given us, and I sign out. Time.
Thank you, thank you. A round of applause for those who have participated. The championship will go on, and later on we'll see how the judges will have awarded marks, and we'll be able to know who the winner is later on in the business forum. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our judges. Thank you. Now, at this juncture, I would like to invite our chair board. You're going to take us through the exhibition, and then we end up at the Africa Business Forum, so we can begin our first panel for today. You will lead our guests, go through the exhibition hall, and then end up at the forum venue, so we can begin the Africa Business Forum. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to begin our first panel, but I invite you to go through the exhibitions, take a look at what they're doing, and then see you at the forum in about 5 or so minutes. Thank you very much for your attention.
So the competitions are done for now. There will be another taking place later, but for now we are now heading into the business forum that is kick-starting. The panelists are ready, the conversations have been prepared, and it's upon us to pick more than a leaf and know what to do next as far as innovation, industrialization, and value addition is concerned. You're watching Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, and we are coming to you live from the Africa Coffee Park. And exhibitors. Many of them are exhibiting coffee. Everything we have here is coffee. A few fruits here and there, but the exhibitors are explaining to us how to use this coffee and how to integrate some of the fruits that I am seeing right here. So there are different exhibitors here. There is Robusta coffee here, Uganda's single original blend. By the way, the background of Robusta coffee, it started as a self-growing crop on the shores of Lake Victoria that was later on taken on by the community in Buganda. They started growing it on their farms, and later it became a national crop. Now, what we know for sure is that coffee is the bedrock of Uganda's economy, as exhibited by the exports that we have in the country. Last year, coffee exports surged by $133 million, which is around 488 billion Uganda shillings. That shows you how much coffee means to us. But now, the rationale of a forum of this nature is for us to understand that coffee can actually take us places. But the only way it can do that, the only way our exports can even grow exponentially, is by us adding value to that coffee. Now, I have a few of the exhibitors here, and I'll be speaking to them. Hi.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
Your name, please?
Kumaro Cosmas from Barra University of Science and Technology, and these are our exhibitions. This is a tractor for land preparation. We got crop, feeding the land, and this is a fertilizer, a 3-in-1, organic fertilizer. We go to a crop guard, biopesticide, used to control pests, and now we go to the coffee product. So all this is a complete value chain for the coffee.
Okay, that's very interesting. Let's start with the BioSoft bioorganic fertilizer. Is it only for coffee crops or even other crops?
This 3-in-1 bioorganic fertilizer is majorly for all crops, both annual and perennial crops. So you apply it, it contains nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. When applied in the soil, you will have more yields. How? We have this, it is applied through mist, foliar fertigation in irrigation water. And we have this solid one. After collecting off the liquid, we get this solid one. So this solid one comprises of NPK, just like this one, and we mix it in the soil when we are planting. We can have my fellow take you through the crop guard, bioorganic pesticide.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Your name, please?
Maido Anthony.
Tell us about the crop guard.
Probably this is a crop guard which is 3-in-1, made out of rabbit urine as the main component and other ingredients, the remedies from the natural setting. So it's probably acts on soft-bodied pests, for example, the aphids, caterpillars, to mention but a few. It is an anti-feedant in a way that it has the properties that makes the pest to feel like as if it's already satisfied, yet it's not. Then it's also having a repellent action, whereby it has that discomfort smell that keeps off the pests, and lastly it also kills because of the properties of red pepper in it. Yeah.
Thank you. These products, are they already on the market?
Currently, we are working with small farmers, small-scale farmers, but initially, because of the required standards, for the case of the UNBS, we are not yet broadly on market because of such limitations, and it's still under a process.
Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
upon certification, we have applied to UNBS for certification, and the product is still being tested for certification. We hope with the pending situation of certification soon, we shall be certified and can cross and sell off the market.
Thank you so much. Well, you're still watching the Africa Business Forum that is taking place, and right now we have an exhibition of different products. We have been talking to students from Uganda, from Bara University of Science, and they've been showing us some of their products, and these are mainly crop guards, to mention but a few. I have other exhibitors here that I would like to speak to. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Your name, please.
My name is Shadrach Atire. I'm the manager for research from Kaziri Products Limited. Yes.
Now, we are at the Business Forum, and I understand that us being at the coffee park, there is so much more to say about coffee. Does Kaziri as a business have some coffee products?
Definitely, yes. As you see this one, so we've been doing products from other products like lemon, orange, pineapple, banana. But now that coffee is a thing, we have come up with this product, Kaziri Power Tonic Coffee Flavored. So we want to tap into the coffee value chain, support our people as we have always been doing for the last 17 years.
Okay. Now, you call it Kaziri Power Tonic. Coffee flavored. Tell us more about this coffee flavored Power Tonic.
There are very many products, energy drinks on the market, but that the health-related practitioners have been complaining about because they are synthetic. Now we are doing the natural one from our gardens that is health sensitive but also provides the other niche that other products have been doing. So it's a natural energy drink. It is healthy, energizing, and if you take it on a sunny day when you are bored, you can run the entire day without getting nagged and what have you. So it is a natural flavor that we have brought to this whole exhibition.
Thank you so much. The exhibition continues, and we are continuing our conversations with different exhibitors. Now I am at a different table. I have a gentleman here. What I'm seeing, I think I know what it is, but he should tell us. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm fine. Your name, please?
My name is Brogan Ochungi.
And Morgan, please tell us about your company and what you're exhibiting. These seem like health products.
Yes. Today, this is Microheme Scientifics, commonly known as MHS. We do manufacture different testing kits. To mention, we have sickle cell, HIV testing kits, and then we have malaria. So this is locally made in Uganda, and we are located at Ntinda, Matters Way, towards UNEP. Yes, that's what we do. Local manufacturing of RDTs.
Currently, are you dealing with retailers or wholesalers?
So currently we're dealing with both. We deal both with key accounts like hospitals, standalone labs, and then we deal with distributors in Uganda. So this kit, as you see it here, you can access it in all those avenues. The pharmacies, the hospitals, and different distributors across the country.
Thank you so much. As you can see, it's a business forum. We have an exhibition and we are looking at different products. We have farm products, we have coffee products, and now we have just looked at health products. Now we are moving on to another exhibitor right here, and they should be telling us about their products in a minute. I have a beautiful lady here with me. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you and what's your name?
I'm fine. My name is Amerida. I'm from Glue University.
Okay. Please tell us about the products that you have here.
Well, we've been able to use reverse engineering to develop incubators that we can use in our lab. And then also here we have sese fly repellents that we can use especially for tourists as they go to different endemic areas. And then here we managed to develop a diagnostic kit for coffee. Yeah, especially to our farmers, since now this is more of coffee, so we are trying to see how can we control the disease before the farmers go ahead and plant. And then also we have for banana, this is a diagnostic kit for banana, and then also for sweet potatoes, and then for cassava. So our staple foods are actually sorted when it comes to testing. Yeah.
Sir, I would like to hear from you. What do you have to say about your products, briefly?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Professor Richard Echodu from Gulu University. We try to solve the problems of the community, basically our farmers, by providing them rapid test kits so that they can be able to deploy the planting materials into their field. But before they do that, they need to check whether they are sick with some diseases that are common in our region.
Thank you so much. Well, now we move on, and we will be conducting a conversation with one of the panelists that are going to be a part of the business forum. So stick with us as we head into that, and I'll be speaking to Mr. Ian Rumanyika from Uganda Bati. Like I said, I'm being joined by Mr. Ian Rumanyika from Uganda Bati. Good morning.
Morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes. I'm well. How are you? Yes.
I'm excited to be here, and more so, I'd like to know, coffee, park, and then Uganda Bati, how do the two work together?
Thank you very much, and good morning, UBC. We're equally excited to be part of this industrialization agenda. Uganda Bati is the leading steel manufacturing company in Uganda, and what we do is to support industries, put structures in place, because you can't industrialize without structures. So we have provided largely 90% of the structures you see here at the coffee park, and we have a product called Self-Build. We design, we detail, we manufacture, and then we supply it and install it and hand it over. And that's what we did for Inspire Africa. And some of the other products include such products like Ultraspan, which are a replacement of the brick and mortar systems that we usually use in construction. So now we use steel from construction level to completion. Yes.
Now I understand that you're one of the panelists that are going to speak to us when the business forum kicks off. What should we expect in terms of the future of Uganda's construction industry?
I think it's high time we have a discussion on how best we can support industrialization in Uganda. Ourselves as Safal Group, we've invested heavily in the African continent. We are now in 13 countries. And our interest is to see how do we add value to African products. Instead of us importing everything from outside and exporting raw materials, how do we support the industrialization agenda? And that's what we're going to discuss. And also some of the challenges that we are facing as industries. How does government support us? I'll give you an example. In Alaf, Tanzania, we have a sister company called Alaf. And currently, we supply 80% of government infrastructure needs. Why? Because the government in Tanzania has realized the need to support the industries locally in Tanzania so that they can be able to supply. First of all, this system I'm talking about, Self-Build, can supply education in terms of schools, and a school classroom that you would spend probably 75 months or a year or plus building, we will now spend 3 weeks building that classroom. So that's the technology we are talking about, and that's what we're going to discuss and more.
Okay. Now, I understand that the other key issue most innovators and industrialists face is access to financing, and there is a lot of conversation regarding that, how they need as much help from the government as possible. Is Uganda Bati speaking that language, or you're sorted?
This is a highly capital-intensive investment. When you talk about iron ore that you have in Kabale, it's not a matter of just saying we have deposits of iron ore. You need close to over $10 billion to add value to that iron ore, and that is primary. Then you move to secondary, then intermediate. So it's highly capital-intensive. So of course, government needs to start discussing how do you make capital much easier to get. For us as Uganda Bati, we have faced a number of challenges in terms of investment. Why? Because you want a policy that favors you to invest. And what is government doing to make sure they attract the world to come and invest here? So some of the things that we're going to discuss, and probably we'll have solutions for them.
Okay, I hope you find the solution.
Hopefully.
Well, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, Mr. Rumanyika.
Thank you very much.
Well, we have been speaking to Mr. Ian Rumanyika from Uganda Bati. As I mentioned before, the Africa Business Forum is about to start. We have representatives from different industries because the theme for this year is innovation, industrialization, and value addition. And because of that, that's why we've been looking at different exhibitors that are innovating different solutions to different problems when it comes to farming, when it comes to industrialization. But also, we have others that are finding certain solutions for industries. And this is honestly a very, very enlightening moment and also event. We are going to be speaking to another exhibitor. I see products, and if I can guess right, these are skincare products. I hope I'm right, and I think I am. Good morning, and what's your name?
Good morning. My name is Samson Kamukama.
Okay, Samson, I see you have interesting things here, and as a person that loves skincare, I'm going to make a guess. These are skincare products, right?
Sure, yeah.
Please tell us about your company, your products. What are they made out of? Are they made out of coffee or something else?
All of them, they are made out of coffee. Yeah. This one is a scrub. It helps in anti-age. It has an anti-aging component in it. It helps like remove wrinkles and it makes your skin look good.
You need to say that out loud. It helps to remove wrinkles.
Yeah, and it has an anti-aging component in it, so it makes you look good.
Okay, so if I added it to my skincare, it will just glow.
Very, very.
Okay, tell us about the other products that you have.
This is a lip balm. It can be used here to make your lips look good when they are peeling off. Yeah. Then this is a body cream, like lotion. Can smear it to make your skin look moist.
Well, thank you so much. You have a lady here. I would like to hear from her. Please tell me about this product.
That's a body cream made out of coffee as the base ingredient. Like he said, most of the products here have coffee in them because our focus is coffee, adding value to the coffee and still maintaining our beauty naturally. Most of the ingredients in here are natural ingredients. We have cocoa in here, cocoa butter. So once cocoa butter coupled with the coffee, you really get a radiant skin. You find that people who don't want to age and you want to use a natural product, stick to coffee. It will do the magic for you.
And all these products are made in Uganda?
These are made at Inspire Africa here in Uganda.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes, if you're a lady and you are passionate about skincare, then this is a place for you. We have products that are made in Uganda. Most of the products here have a component of coffee in them, and we've just looked at an exhibitor with skincare products, and these are products that are made by Inspire Africa. Now we are about to speak to another exhibitor.
And you look at, if you don't have time to pick this pack, you just come and open up this box and you get your drip. Sorry. So we have, okay, now we have this. This is a new technology we brought, that is drip coffee. Now drip coffee is basically for people who are really in a rush. Someone who doesn't have time to sit down and brew the coffee and go through the whole processes. So you get this, just tear a pack. After you tear a pack, pour your hot water and your coffee is good to go. So this is one of the products that will be produced at the factory, and soon we will be having all these in our shelves within Uganda and also Africa and within the world. Then on top of that, like I mentioned, we also have our cosmetic line, which are some of the products that our colleagues have been looking through. Then we also have the coffee capsules that are also going to be worked on from the factory.
What is the rationale for the coffee capsules?
When you say rationale, what do you mean?
What is the importance or what is their usage?
Oh, now the capsules basically we are targeting the CEOs and big corporations whereby you have to have a capsule machine. So we expect like some of these CEOs that whenever they're in their offices and they have guests who come around, they're able to pick a small capsule tap, put it in their machine and extract some coffee. And this should be something like an experience, something that they can serve their guests with class. And also we know that sometimes you have expatriates who come and they're used to this kind of experience with coffee. So other than the traditional way we used to do of scooping and putting in a cup, why not extract it through the coffee capsule machines?
That's very interesting. And are these capsules anytime soon on the shelf?
Yes, please. The capsules are going to be on the shelves very soon as we are finalizing our machine testing and product line configurations. We have a very big team that's already on site. And like the CEO promised of Inspire Africa and the President, we should be having these products in the market. And we are hoping that by the end of this year, we will be seeing the revenues and the returns that are coming in from these products. We know it will not be overnight, but we are hoping to reach there as we had visioned.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome.
Well, so imagine going to your office and you don't need a coffee machine because there will be a capsule that you can just extract and add into your cup and make your coffee instantly. Well, my name is Olive Monica Najuma and I am here at another with another exhibitor coming in from Inspire Africa Coffee. Good morning. Your name?
My name is Egesa Emmanuel. I'm a barista. I work with the Inspire Africa Coffee and also I work with the Wonder Food Garage. Yeah.
Now, Egesa, I think my interest here, I want to see how you make a cup of coffee from the start to finish. Would you mind taking us through that? So where we are now, we have a beautiful coffee machine right here, and Egesa is going to take us through. He's a barista, like he just said, and he's going to take us through the process of making coffee from start to finish. So we are getting ready, and he's going to show us his art. So Egesa, whenever you're ready.
Before doing anything, as a barista, you should be having coffee in a grinder. The cups that you're going to use, you ensure that your station is clean. At stage 2, you have to grind coffee using this portafilter. This is grinding stage. And as you grind the coffee, you have to ensure that it fits into the portafilter. You try to level it. This is a tamper. You do a gentle tamping, and this is only done with baristas.
Okay. Yeah. So I can't do that at home.
You can't do that. So you come on the machine, you flush the group head to remove the burnt coffees. You insert the portafilter at an angle of 45. Immediately, you press the extraction button to extract the coffee. And the coffee has to flow like honey. Those small bubbles that you're seeing, they show the effervescence of coffee. And this comes out as a result of degassing coffee for 48 hours. After that, you have to stop. You swallow the cup, and the drink that I've made, it's called Espresso. It is the concentrated coffee with distinct aromas extracted under pressure using an espresso machine at a meter gauge of 9 bars. When I'm extracting, this meter has to come up to 9 here to show that the pressure is enough. After that, then this is the basic of all coffee drinks. You can't make a perfect coffee beverage without extracting espresso at first. So then you go to the milk course. I'm going to make a cappuccino out of this. Okay. So we are going to have a cappuccino. A cappuccino, we have the aerations, and after aerating, you raise up the pitcher to flash the bubbles. You clean the steam one. This is all about hygiene as a barista. You hold the cup very well. You mix. You mix. As you're mixing, you stack, and I'm making a tulip. You raise up, you cut through. After raising up and cutting through, you hit the cup down like 3 times, remove the small bubbles on top. That's how we make a cup of cappuccino.
Oh my God.
To all of you. And I would like to say something.
Okay.
This is very amazing. This is the team that I work with. She's a young lady, and everyone is excited about her.
Okay.
He's my friend, and before they introduce themselves, Inspire Coffee Africa has made young Ugandans to come out with their talents like the way I've done this.
I must say, I like your enthusiasm when you're speaking about coffee, and even as you blend for us a cup of coffee, I can see that you enjoy what you're doing. But I have a question. You know, sometimes someone can be good at making something, but not at consuming it. Do you consume coffee?
I consume coffee, and I'm a fan of espresso because of the natural flavors that I need. The espresso has organic taste. It has the chocolate flavors because our coffee is grown in the areas of tropical, of Cancer and tropical of Capricorn. That's why I like espresso. Yeah.
I have a lady here. He said that everyone should be excited and look out for her. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, names of Mary. Yeah.
Mary, how long have you been a barista?
I'm like a student, 2 months.
So what inspired you into choosing being a barista over being a chef and all these other areas that you could have been involved in?
Like I have my mentor, my uncle. He's a UCDA member. So he always tells me about his passionate stories about the love for coffee. So I get motivated and inspired.
And so far so good. Do you love it?
100.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mary. I will just say hello to a gentleman here before we move on.
Yeah, by the names I'm called Richard Ngolet. Actually, I'm very, very proud to be in such an innovative program. I would like to thank, my great thanks go to the CEO, Inspire Africa. Actually, it's because of him, that's why I am here. Because we are among the first baristas he produced when Inspire started. So I'm very, very glad to be with him here. Very happy, and you're all most welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we are moving on with our conversations, and I'm going to be joining the vision bearer, the man who started all of this, and this is quite an exciting moment for me, but it should also be for you, because I have seen many young people here today, and all of them are singing the same praises, speaking about the same person. So who is this man that is changing the livelihoods of many young Ugandans? Join us as I speak to him right about now. Good morning.
Good afternoon, I guess.
It's already afternoon.
It should be good afternoon.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I'm so glad to sit down with you today, and I've talked to different young people right here, and all of them are singing your praises. And for me, that is something that I look forward to, and I'm like, this is a person we should be speaking to. But let's start from the beginning. Inspire Africa, and then Africa Coffee Park. You are a man of many talents. How did you start all of this?
Big question. Big question. But I think, let me say this. Like I said, Inspire Africa Coffee, I earlier mentioned before, it was about my mom inspiring me for her low value in the coffee she sold at 4,200 a kilo. And while in the United States, I found that same coffee being sold for over $70 a kilo. And that's what inspired me. It's not a big, great deal for what you're seeing. That inspiration sparked into my mind that many around the world, around Uganda, like my mom, the local woman that we are celebrating today and saying needs a better price and value for her coffee, it's what has sparked all this that you see at the Africa Coffee Park. So I don't think it's about any special recognition or talent. It's my passion and commitment for the hope of the African Renaissance, for the hope of the African race, for the hope of the African people, and inspiration that we can do this by ourselves. And we can't wait for nobody to do it for us, but to take action now. And that's why you saw today at the Africa Business Forum, starting with the Barista Championships, seeing those young people now not saying, can we support the young people in harvesting the coffee, in being in the garden? These are young people who have studied food science, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, name them, food, biochemical, name all races that are here today of what products you've seen. And this is where we want to inspire Africa to go, inspire Uganda to go. We've been getting less than $1 billion in our coffee, as it has become a song to our President Museveni, and say, value addition, value addition, value addition. So what does this mean? That the African race, the young people, must take this up, embrace it, act, do it. And that's what you're going to even more see today at the Africa Coffee Park and in the Business Forum unfolding.
Now, there is a question that many people have been wondering about, and I'm sure you already have an idea about it. Many people are saying Ntungamo is not a coffee hub in terms of production, but we have the coffee park here. Why? What inspired the erection, the construction of the coffee park here and not elsewhere in Uganda, where we know that these are the fertile grounds where coffee is the cash crop?
Number one, I want to really demystify the fact that coffee to me is not a cash crop. Coffee is a beverage. Okay. And the reason why African people and Ugandan, we've kept getting less value is thinking that coffee is a cash crop. You've seen different types of products like cosmetics, the cold brews, the different types of products that we have here at Inspire Africa. And therefore I want you to tell everyone around the world, around Uganda, that we should scrap that crap in our curriculum, wherever it is, that coffee is a cash crop. That starts to danger our minds when we are thinking that coffee is a cash crop. Number two, the biggest roastery is in Seattle, Starbucks.
There is no coffee farm.
Never seen any single plant in Seattle. Germany earns $65 billion out of coffee. I've never seen a single plant of coffee. I have seen thousands and thousands plants of coffee in Ntungamo. So the petty talk by Ugandans where the plant is should not suffice. What should suffice? How much tonnage, how much jobs are we going to create? how much change and transformation are we going to create? But also to remind you, actually, one of the best top good coffees come from Tungamo, of high outturn. But also let me to mention and also educate our masses here at wherever the plant would be. It's not about the Ntungamo coffee. We get our coffee from Kapchorwa, we get our coffee from Zombo, even DRC. The client, the consumer, it's about the quality, the blend of coffee they want. And therefore, as Ugandans, where the coffee plant is should not care. But also, let me give this more clarity. This vision started on my dad's land. I was grown here, I was grown up here, I was born here, and this vision started from here. So from a spiritual point of view, as a Christian, I think the God we serve, who is the Almighty God, mentioned to me and told me, you must start this dream here and complete it.
I like that you have demystified what has been being said about the plant being in Ntungamo. That's very telling. But now, one last question. The marathon. Tell us about the rationale of the marathon and the proceeds that will come from it. What are they intended to do?
Number one, the coffee marathon this is going to be the first one, the inaugural one. We're building an international coffee marathon sport for the first one for Ugandans to export all over the world. We believe that by the 5th marathon, we can be able to compete with other marathons like London Marathon, Boston Marathon, New York Marathon. So the coffee marathon is expected to attract everyone in the world to come and run for that good cup of coffee. What a better theme and actionable theme that we have this time, which is the uplifting the rural woman out of poverty. That is why we're going to be running tomorrow, and all the proceeds is going to start a coffee fund, which is going to be starting to be accessed by that rural woman to get a better life, to transform their life. And that's what the Africa Coffee Park, Inspire Africa, stands for, real transformation.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been a pleasure having this conversation with you, and I'm waiting to see you in the business forum when it kicks off.
Thank you so much.
Well, we've been speaking to the vision bearer for Africa, Coffee Inspire Africa, and you have seen the many products that they have, and also he has helped us understand the reason behind the coffee park being situated in Ntungamo. He did say that it doesn't matter where it is located, where the coffee plant is located. What matters are the products that come out of that coffee plant. So coffee can be ferried into Uganda from DRC, from different parts of Uganda, and at the end of the day, what matters are the products. You're still watching? You're still watching Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, and we are coming to you live from the Africa Coffee Park in Ntungamo.
And I know that their toils and sweat will be celebration for our country and for many families in years to come. The foundation is set, and the rest of us will build the superstructure. We also have a board of directors, the board that works to provide the oversight, the governance in this company, and I am pleased to be the chair of the board. But I have now members of the board whom I would like to stand for recognition so that we can see you. And please stand for recognition, members of the board. Some of them are here. I see them there. We have others busy working in the activities of the day. So nothing is strange, because what a human mind can imagine the human body can experience, can make it happen. So I believe that we can make the progress of coffee better. We want to thank the Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation, because they are really the mother on which these dreams of Ugandans walking into the space of science and making science solve our issues and make our life better. I really want to appreciate, I know that the minister is not here, but the team in the Ministry of Science are here. Can we really request that you stand up, and we congratulate you for bearing these burdens and dreams. Thank you. We are here because of you, and we hope to work and continue to work with you more and more. I want to thank the team of the sponsors that are here. I know that there are many. We shall not ask you to stand. We shall ask you to receive our thank you, to receive our gratitude, and to continue to support this great innovation. Our country and society will only move when entrepreneurs and innovators get to work and get to see their products come out there. I also want to thank many exhibitors, also from the tent that we just visited. You feel delighted that Uganda has moved on. Uganda is manufacturing. Uganda is turning science into a great fortune. On that note, I think I want to stop here and to say, may you have 2 days of great excitement and great benefit. God bless you, and thank you very much. I'd like to call Dr. Cosmas from the Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovations to come here to officially open this forum so that we can be free to do everything we want to do under the sun. So Ndugu Cosmas, you're welcome.
The board chair of the Inspire Africa Group, the vision bearer of the Africa Coffee Park, Mr. Nelson Tugume, esteemed guests from across Africa and the entire world, my Lord Bishop and other religious leaders present, representatives from government MDAs, distinguished investors and financiers, the district leadership, captains of innovation and industry, representatives from the Fourth Estate, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I will deliver this speech on behalf of the Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Monica Msenero Masanza, who could not be here but is here with you in spirit. And I will deliver it verbatim. Abantungamo mulileje. She says, I stand before you today, not as Uganda's Minister of Science and Technology, but as a proud African witnessing history unfold. As I entered this magnificent Africa Coffee Park, which is a marvel of architecture and engineering in its own right, I saw a living emblem of Africa's renaissance in value addition. A bold testament that although Africa has for long slumbered, it has finally woken up. This is a tectonic shift in Africa's economic narrative led by our highly enterprising young people. As you may know, this facility has been established through a public-private partnership between the government of Uganda and the Inspire Africa Group. On the side of government, our champion is His Excellency the President, whose relentless belief in science, technology, and innovation, or STI, as engines of socio-economic transformation, has laid the foundation for such audacious initiatives. Through the vision and leadership of the President, STI has now moved from being just a mere policy aspiration to a national doctrine. As HE has reminded us time and again, Germany earns more from coffee than the entire African continent combined. Let that sink in. It doesn't grow a single coffee tree, but it earns more from coffee. Matter of fact, in 2023, Germany earned $27 billion from the coffee industry. On the contrary, Africa earned $3.6 billion in 2022. This is a profound disappointment. You can say the same about the entire knowledge economy, the pharmaceuticals, which we have christened the pathogen economy, the automotive industry, artificial intelligence and other frontier technologies, industrial automation. And these are sectors where we have been mere spectators, but we are slowly gaining traction, and some of the fruits are visible in the exhibition at this forum. Specifically with the German example, His Excellency aims to arouse holy anger, challenging African countries to move beyond mere export of raw coffee beans and invest in entire coffee value chain, including processing, branding, local consumption, and export to capture a greater share of the global coffee market's value. And today at the Africa Coffee Park, we are responding. I also want to thank Mr. Nelson Tugume for being an innovation champion. Mr. Tugume was crazy enough to dream, and as Steve Jobs once said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Mr. Tugume is of such a breed. He has been in the trenches for long, firmly believing that we can do more with our coffee, and today we are beginning to witness these fruits. But let us be clear, this is not just Uganda's story, this is Africa's moment. This is Africa's moment. The global market, from the Balkans to the Gulf states to Asia to mainland Europe to Russia, is ready for value-added coffee, and we are ready. Uganda is primed for this moment. But truly seize it, certain levers must be activated. First, we need catalytic patient financing, affordable patient capital that understands that value chains are not built in quarters, but in decades. This is a conversation that we must have with our finance institutions, because many of our promising innovation-driven enterprises are at risk of going under, saddled by insurmountable debts due to an unsupportive financial ecosystem. Second, we must localize our innovation ecosystems. We must develop high-grade packaging industries, smart logistics, artificial intelligence-powered traceability, automated production lines, rigorous research and development that splices our products at molecular level, and green energy roasting plants, among others. Not imported solutions. We cannot be mere players in global markets. We must be strategic. Let me put it bluntly. Africa has grown coffee for centuries, but someone else has been sipping the profits, and this must change. Ladies and gentlemen, in the grand scheme of things, this is not merely about coffee. It is a prototype for how Africa must industrialize, moving from extractive commodity cycles to circular, innovation-driven economies. Our national ambition is, and this is the so-called qualitative leap, it is to grow our gross domestic product tenfold from our current $55 billion to $550 billion by 2040. And this will not be driven by raw exports, but by value capture, brand equity, and industrial integration, we can easily create authentic, sustainable, high-value African brands that can break into the Fortune Global 500. Although today there is none, I'm a firm believer that the Inspire Africa group is on this path. And I can say the same about Day Biopharma, whose CEO, Mr. Matthias Magola, I see in the room as well. Finally, I must state how critical investment in innovation is for our economic sovereignty as a continent. The Africa Coffee Park is therefore not just a facility, it is a signal to the world that Uganda and Africa are open for business, high-value business, impactful business, future-facing business. So let us move with urgency, with unity, and with unmatched ambition, with all hands on deck, because the world is not waiting. We must leverage the first mover advantage. Uganda is ready, Africa is ready. Let us conquer the global market, one quality value-added product at a time, for God and my country. And with that, it is my pleasure on behalf of the Honorable Minister to declare this Africa Business Forum open. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mwichirize. Dr. Mwichirize is the Superintendent Industrial Value Chain Development at STI, the Secretariat of Science, Technology and Innovation, and he was representing the Minister, Honorable Mr. Nero. At this point, we are going to get into our first panel. Our first panel is going to be on financing innovation and value addition in Africa. But before I call upon my panelists, I would like to invite Martin Muhanji from Uganda Investment Authority to give his keynote address that will usher us into our first panel. Mr. Muhanji, you're welcome. A round of applause for him. Let's make him feel welcome. Thank you.
The government officials present, my Lord the Bishop, distinguished invited guests, the private sector community, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, the government, officials, and Inspire Africa management and the board for answering government's call for agro-value addition. The processing of coffee locally will reduce the waste, it will create jobs, and above all, it will improve the livelihoods of Ugandans, and that is the inspiration and the aspirations of the National Development Plan 4, the Vision 2040, and the NRM Manifesto. It supports government strategy for accessing domestic, regional, continental, and global markets. So it is with this immense pride and excitement that I stand before you as we participate in this business forum. This is another milestone in Uganda's journey to become a global coffee leader. This project is not a factory, but a testament that our commitment to innovation, value addition, job creation, quality improvement, and above all, it's empowering our local communities. Now allow me, I go to the real topic that they called me to discuss or to present, and that is the role of Uganda Investment Authority in promoting innovation, industrialization, and value addition. UIA's approach to promoting innovation, industrialization, and job creation underscores its commitment to Uganda's socio-economic development, with the main role being to promote, to facilitate, to provide aftercare, to license and permit such investments. And I'm glad to inform you that when Mr. Nelson Tugume came to my office seeking for an investment license, I gave Inspire Africa the investment license in 1 hour. Secondly, I wrote an email to His Excellency the Ambassador, the UN Permanent Representative, and His Excellency Ambassador Adonia Yavari in America, introducing Mr. Nelson Tugume to promote the Ugandan coffee in the different cities in the United States of America. And the ambassador responded and gave him a store, and he did promote in 7 days Uganda's coffee. Those are big milestones. Now allow me to highlight key notable achievements that have been scored in partnership and collaboration with other government agencies to promote private sector like this one of Inspire Group Africa. On the industrialization front, what has UIA achieved? UIA had a target of 12 industrial and business parks to accomplish in the third National Development Plan. And I'm glad to report to you that 12 industrial business parks are currently operational, both public and private, hosting 447 industries, 60% of which are owned by domestic investors. Key among these industries include Namamve, Ruzira, Mbare, Bweyogerere, Mbarara, Jinja, Soroti, Kashari, Masindi, MMP Wikwe, and Kasese. These parks support manufacturing, agro-processing, pharmaceuticals, textiles, and construction materials, among others, with total investment values exceeding United States billion. This has greatly reduced the import bill and boosted our exports. Second, UIA, in partnership with local government, have mobilized land across the country to support 663 domestic investors that we have licensed at Uganda Investment Authority in 4.5 years. The authority provides critical infrastructure like roads, power, water, and sewage, which in effect lowers the costs of production and enhances Uganda's investment competitiveness. UIA has embarked on transitioning of traders and manufacturing to create more jobs, increase the tax base, and increase the exports under the tenfold strategy. To date, 105 traders have been facilitated to access tax incentives, affordable financing, and standards and certifications, including access to machinery for investments. And above all, UIA gives permits in less than 24 hours. Under innovation and value addition, as a component of increasing and promoting investments, in 2023, UIA developed and launched small and medium portal. This is a portal. It currently hosts 2,978 SME investors with the innovative interventions done to date. These innovations include the marketplace, where domestic investors can sell their products globally under 24/7. A registry to support SME, support raw materials for value addition. 4, a registry of business development services to support SMEs access services such as technologies and machinery. Lastly, in order to improve traceability and visibility of SMEs, UIA enables investors to allocate SMEs geographically and track the sources of raw materials. Allow me to finally talk about the one-stop center. In 2016, the government of Uganda, through the cabinet, formed the one-stop center, and UIA has been operationalizing the one-stop center. We now have agencies like Registration Services Bureau, agencies to deal with tax, agencies which are handling work permits and immigration support, that is the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control, to give work permits to foreigners. We have land to verify land that is given to investors. We have utility companies like the UEDCL, water, and NEMA. We also have investor aftercare services that are run by Uganda Investment Authority. All these agencies have timelines of serving investors, and these service standards are there to ease the business environment. Finally, allow me to talk about the job creation. UIA has significantly contributed to job creation through foreign direct investments and domestic investments, and SME support. SME means small and medium enterprises. Key achievements: 690,000 jobs are expected to be delivered, and to this note, I can inform you that currently we have 120,000 jobs that have been delivered by our industrial zones, which I have already mentioned, with 200,000 indirect jobs. And we have 111 new projects under construction. As soon as they are constructed, we shall add another additional jobs to this figure I've mentioned. Lastly, we have SME initiatives like CURAD, which have generated 6,000 jobs for our youth and women in scalable agribusiness ventures. On this note, I wish to salute Inspire Group for putting up this wonderful value addition coffee factory. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahanji. I want to remind you that on my left and at the extreme back, you can pick a coffee and a bite. You can see the golden warmers right there on my left, which will be your right. There are golden warmers there, and their eats will be going to lunch after the first panel. But for now, pick a coffee, pick a drink, pick something to eat. And if you are looking for places of convenience, just right after this tent on my left, which is that side, okay? All right, and now let's go into our first panel, which really is about financing innovation and value addition in Africa. And will come with me, my first panelist, Robert Wanok, who is the head marketing Equity Bank. Robert Wanok, can give him a round of applause as he gets here. Dr. Cedric Akwesje, who is the Managing Director, MHS Pharmaceuticals. MHS is Microhem Scientifics, a diagnostics manufacturing plant. It's located in Kampala in Intinda, and it is headed by Dr. Akwesje, and has actually, I've been informed that it has partnered with Ruashamire Health Center 4 to provide free testing services for HIV and malaria behind the exhibition tent. The exhibition tent is right behind this one, and this at the back, you will see inside the tent, you'll see MHS tent, and you'll be able to pass through. So they've given free kits for HIV and malaria, and they're doing the testing, and these kits that they manufacture are the first of their kind to be produced in Uganda, and we're inviting you all to go pass by and test. My third panelist is Bishop Sheldon Mwesgwa, who is a bishop and Ankole Diocese, but he also chairs the Finance Committee of the House of Bishops. Yes, give him a round of applause. And also from Uganda Revenue Authority, that is Peter Twesgamkama, also be joining me on the panel. A round of applause for Peter. The microphones are right in front of you, so but let me begin with Equity Bank. When we talk about financing innovation and value addition, my question to you, Robert, is what financing models is Equity Bank using to support SMEs in innovation and value chains?
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be here and good to be representing Equity Bank this afternoon. And Canary, thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to address the forum today. Equity Bank has multiple sectors that we are participating in, and core for us and why we are here today is looking at the value chains in different ecosystems that are there. And we don't look at financing from a traditional model. The bank operates a tri-engine. One is a very commercial engine, which is where I sit in and make sure that we do generate business as an organization. The other engine that you'll see that is very active here this morning is involved with the social side of our activities and making sure that we bring dignity to our people. And that social engine has been with Inspire right from the beginning, and it's involved with making sure that we take care of the SMEs right from inception. We enable them identify sustainable ways of actually growing and make sure that we do not arrive at the typical statistic in Uganda that the average SME is dead by the first anniversary. And that sustainability part of it is the third pillar, which we really focus on and make sure that we don't just provide SMEs with your traditional funding model that the average bank comes out and tells you that this is what's there for you, which is typically, is it an overdraft? Is it a term lending? Is it long-term financing? We actually go in and look at the diagnosis of the SME and understand the entire value chain. So if, for example, the SME is involved in agriculture, we look at the funding right from the top to understand who is the off-taker for this farmer and where does the farmer actually get their inputs, the agri-inputs in? What is the funding cycle looking at? So we do provide them with both long-term solutions and short-term solutions. The short-term solutions would really be focusing a lot more on enabling, as a startup, enabling the SME to be able to go through the earlier days of looking at inputs, beginning to pick up basics like paying the employees, putting their paperwork and systems together. So there are varied forms of financing, and the teams that we have across, like right here in Ntungamo, where we do have a branch. We ensure that we have an advisory team that takes care of the SMEs right from the front, but also from a social perspective. And from the social engine, we do look at the SME more from a perspective of which communities does this SME actually get into and where are they servicing, and we go back and ensure that we are able to service those communities and also the SMEs wherever they are. Thank you.
Yeah, before I move on, while you're doing this evaluation and looking at which communities they do come from and which ones they're supporting, where is inclusivity? Do you have a strategy in terms of how you support women and youth-led businesses, especially around agriculture and tourism?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Canary. And I've had the opportunity to be here. This is my third time at the hub, and thanks to Nelson and the team, we've had the opportunity to actually see this right from the time when it was the little bushes, and also to engage with a lot of the coffee farmers that are within Western area, but also those that are outside and within the greater part of the country that are involved in the production of coffee on both the Arabica and the Robusta side of it. We've seen real transformation come through from this community. So if you speak to any of the team at the back, we focus on women and women-led enterprises right from inception at different levels. Within here in Ntungamo, for example, and it's true for every district where equity is, we do sponsor the best girl in HSC, and we take them through a full education with a fully paid scholarship, irrespective of which university they go to, whether in Uganda or outside of the country. And right here in Ntungamo, you'll see that we actually picked up the best girl this year too, and they're currently working with us.
Do you also follow up on, after university, what they are actually up to, what they are doing, the kind of business they are doing, and do you go on and support that business? And
so we identify education as a key entry pillar, and then we also look at the woman or the girl child across their career, where they want to get into business and things like that. And one of the things that we do for women and women-led enterprises, we focus on supporting some of the government initiatives like GROW, where we've currently had about 3.5 billion shillings that have been disbursed to women. So the GROW program is one of the few programs that we've been involved in. We do work with the central bank on the agricultural credit facility, which we also do offer to women. On the other hand, we do have a product that is actually designed for women called the Equimama. So if you walk into any of our branches, and that was the primary reason that drove us into Ntungamo, for example, when you get into Ntungamo, we don't look at the woman or the entrepreneur as an individual. We look at the person from an holistic needs, and we look at the needs that belabor almost every African woman, and that is maternity. So we do offer a maternity care and insurance program for every woman under this facility. And we look at the facility not just from a secured perspective, it's also got an unsecured facility to it. So if you ask about the Equimama product, or if any of the women come in for an Equimama product, we will insure the woman, we'll actually insure her business, but we'll also insure her across the different cycles of her business. And then for the women who want to borrow anything over 100 million shillings, we also do have women-led products that are tailored for women SMEs specifically, and that includes those in agriculture. This morning, one of the things that we're showcasing at the back, at the tent there, was for women groups and associations. Uganda has about 10,500 registered groups and associations, and I can tell you that from a statistic perspective, about 85% of those are women-led or women successful groups and associations. So it's a key part for us, it's integral. We actually go out and make sure that we offer these groups and associations free financial literacy. We offer them startup kits that enable them go and grow. And we don't just focus on credit. We focus on what are the core things that a woman would actually need. Even if it's green financing, it's to improve their yields, their crops, we actually do look at them across those stages. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, as we talk about financing, innovation, and value addition, you might be asking yourself, what is the bishop doing on the panel when we're talking about finances? But we want to look at faith-based institutions as also a contributor to, you know, some of the things we are talking about here. So my question to you, Bishop Sheldon, is how can faith-based institutions contribute to national development through investment in value addition areas or sectors like agriculture?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanare Mujisha.
Mugume.
Mugume, sorry. I was a teacher for Nelson Tugume at Intare School, general paper. So I'm a storyteller. I don't go direct to the point. And I used to tell my students, what I say outside the syllabus may even be more important than what is on the syllabus, if you remember. So I will answer your question, but with this winding path. 2014, Tugume has told you that we came here somewhere. He said he will take me there. I don't even remember where. We're about 3 bishops. And he showed us, actually I was asking him, is there something we signed? I remember you had a dream, you drew something and we signed on it. He says, yes, it is there. Wow. So, financing, where does it start from? It starts from the mind, I want to imagine. I used to teach them journal paper. Some of the topics were, knowledge is wealth. Knowledge is power. Education is a preparation for life. Discuss. I want to imagine, probably that's where some of these ideas came from. So, it is good to dream. Dreaming is important. One of my former students, a girl, a lady, no, she's the deputy coordinator, national parish development model. I listened to her speaking to students, girl students in Chivura Girls. She said, most people dream during the night. It is always good to dream during the day. I liked the quote. May we dream during the day. I see this young man as someone who dreamt during the day when others dream in the night. Again, I remember him on school assembly in front of Intare School compound. He was always the #1 at the school assembly, extraordinarily smart, because many boys were not always as smart. Sorry for the others. And he was involved in scouting. I think all those helped him to prepare. Okay, let me move on. Coffee, for me, where does it also start from? I also picked interest in this crop. As a bishop of Ankole Diocese, at that time, this Intungamo was under Ankole Diocese. And there is a place called Nyongos. So I was visiting and I had an archdeacon called Tulia Singula. I saw this beautiful coffee garden with flowering plants, very white. They call it in Runyankore Orabio. Ah, it was so beautiful. And me, I grew up in towns, and so I said, this is so beautiful. So this coffee, that means people are going to get good money. The priest told me, oh, Bishop, it is a sad story. Most likely, the owner of this garden has already been paid at that level of the flowering plant. They pay, they come and pay very little money, and at the end, you don't get much. And of course, the sad part is that when some men are involved and they are women, even the man will go and drink some of the money. So it touched me and it troubled me. I started thinking, saying, the church should also come in and see how to bridge this gap. Education. We need to educate our people, to be patient so that you wait for selling at the right time. That is financing. I'm in the line. Not so. So, We took interest and got involved in coffee also. Then we also realized that the church had church land. So far as I speak, we have, I just sent a message to my officer to give me the real facts. We now have 233 acres of coffee on church land. 233. And then also we have the smallholders, about 138 acres of coffee on households. So we are trying also to mobilize the Christians to get interested in growing coffee. Recently I visited one of the parishes and I met there when we were having tea. And this Christian he was not boasting, he was telling the story of coffee. Amazing, the guy was so confident. My children can no longer have problems of fees. I've never seen a confident person like the other one. On LOC 1, coffee is a big thing. We want to appreciate government. When we got interested, they've gotten us a wet mill processor. We bought a solar dryer ourselves. They gave us a moisture machine, they call it. What we don't yet have is a coffee huller. I asked the price there, they said 45 million. Hopefully at some point we shall get. But we are trying to get engaged and involved in coffee. I have been so passionate. In February, I attended an international conference in Dar es Salaam on coffee. And there, the experts spoke. And one of the things that caught my attention was that the experts, top level, they said, and these are academicians, they present papers and you say, oh my. They told us that currently the price of coffee is at the highest that it has ever been since 1997. And they said that the reason is Brazil and Vietnam, the highest producers of coffee on the world market, they got frost and they got two things. Also much sunshine or something, two things. So now there is what they call in Runyankore, Echsrani Endeta chi Mujisha. It's a blessing in disguise. So everybody should go for coffee. For me, I've been involved in a banana plantation in my area. It is very high level. So I bought a piece of land, I grew bananas, and I'm getting some good money. The other time I saw about 5 million they put on my account. But when I had vanilla, I ran to vanilla. I've been having 2 acres of vanilla. But now the price is on, just this morning I was asking one of my guys, and he said, a kilo I think will be 20,000. Then I calculated I may get 12 million. But so far I've invested 50 million. Pray for me. But now I've started also on coffee. I have my 2 acres. So in this room, how many of you have coffee gardens? Put up your hands. Straight, without any. Please go and plant some coffee, even if it is 1 acre. Financing. We have a circle as Ankole Diocese. Some of you don't know some things in church, you know? Oh, there is equity there. By the way, they gave me a good loan some time back. There is good money. We have loans we've extended to our local people at 1.8%, 21.6%, and they are insured. For those low cost, for me, they can't give me that loan. A Sigma, they call it a fund in our circle. We have a very good circle doing well.
So who qualifies for
the local people, the mother of Tugume and others, whom he has talked about. Those will get if you come. This circle is very powerful. For those who want to invest, the biggest shareholder has 700 million Uganda shillings. Last year, he got 260 million profit. So, but the point is, those low-cost loans are there for the ordinary. So my conclusion is, coffee is the way to go. How I wish every other person would have a small piece, and we've also complied with the European Union, something requirements they are asking us, and all our farmers have been, they have, what do they call it? They have mapped all our farms, and so we shall continue. Dr. Tugume was in the House of Bishops. He came addressed us. How I wish all religious leaders on their pieces of land would be able to, because what is coming is big, big, big. I think that is enough.
Thank you.
I
Thank
hope
you,
I've been
Bishop
in
Shaw.
line
Yes.
with financing.
Yes, you've actually showed how the church can be seen as an investor also, but also giving, affordable credit to the wananchi to be able to carry on with their businesses. I'll come to you, Dr. Akwesije, with your innovation. What unique financing challenges do pharmaceutical manufacturers in Uganda face, especially in scaling this innovation? Do these banks believe in you, or when you go there, they toss you around?
Government officials in the House, our Lord, the Bishop, invited guests, I want to thank you. I'm seated here, but I'm dying with a lot of happiness in my heart. Kanale, I will not go straight to your question, but I'm going to answer it. But I want to first express my gratitude to people who have sacrificed their life to waken up Ugandans, to save our money that has been siphoned for centuries of years. When I entered, when I was entering here, I wrote down, but for how long? For centuries, Uganda has existed. No one has ever thought of processing and adding value to coffee. And I can bet you 90% of you here, some of you have gone to school, your primaries, your secondaries, using coffee money. Because coffee has been in Uganda for so long, but someone had never thought of this. And with this, I want to thank Nelson for sacrificing his happiness to bring and execute this idea. Thank you, Nelson. I also want to thank, I've already seen Dr. Magola and other innovators in the house for sacrificing their happiness for Ugandans. This side of this kind of investment and innovation and what, many people may think you are actually enjoying. Many people, when they see this Nelson with this and what, they think the man is enjoying. This man is suffering, but is preparing and wakening up Ugandans. Imagine from his story of two staff. He started with only two. One is a cleaner and a staff. He's the CEO. To this, can you imagine? I want us to clap for him. These people, they are not enjoying. They are actually sacrificing for us. I'm speaking like that because I'm there. You know, many people, when they see what is happening, what we are doing at MHS, they imagine, now the MD must be so happy. Akuna, you must sacrifice to reach this level. So what are the challenges we are facing with financing for innovations? Definitely this is Africa. Challenges are there, but I want to tell each one of you here, never fear. I've liked Bishop's word of saying, some people dream in the night and they forget. The brave ones dream in the day and they execute. the dream. Don't fear financing. Don't fear technology. First of all, write down your dream and move a small inch. Even if you make one step, people will eventually recognize and say, there is an activity here, and they will come. Financing is very expensive in Africa. It's not only here in Uganda, but if you come up with a very good idea and you present it nicely to the financiers, they will actually finance you with very good terms. I don't want to talk about more details of, like, for example, what we are doing currently. I think some of you have seen Microhim in Ntinda, where we are manufacturing HIV test kits, malaria, and so many. It's an IVD. When we were traveling, meeting IVD manufacturers in Africa, we actually discovered we are the biggest manufacturer of IVD in Africa. But when you look at our the size of the plant that we have, we cannot even consume 10% of the East African market. The East African IVD market for at least 3 products, HIV, malaria, and TB, is 3.19 billion per year. Dollars. And I came here to tell Nelson, you know these billions of dollars you are talking about in coffee. Do you know that you are going to make that money and the disease will take it away back to someone who's... So I'm so happy that I'm seeing innovators here. And I'm so happy for STI. And I'm so happy for His Excellency. I'm so happy. You know, sometimes when we are too busy, we don't even find where to express our happiness. I'm happy you called me to, and now I'm going to tell you my happiness, that Uganda is going to become an industrial and highly industrialized, and we will conquer this Africa. I am telling you, today, Microhim received financing. The challenge was, are you sure that you have market? You know, as long as you have market, there is always money. As long as you have where you are going to sell your product, someone will come and finance. So don't fear. Identify a nice product and get the challenge. So challenge number 1, there is a lot of time. It takes a lot of time for the people to accept that this idea is actually a feasible idea. That's number 1. Number 2, the pricing is high. Number 3 is one of the challenges we also generate for ourselves, because the survival rate for businesses in Africa is not that good. So many financiers fear to finance. So there's that lack of trust. It's a lot. But for me, I didn't come here to lament about challenges, Canada. No. And I don't want to tell anyone in this group to get scared. Just get up and start. Even if you start 1 foot, tomorrow another step, tomorrow another step. You see what we have in Ntinda was only doing 1%. We just received financing last year to manufacture and take over 100% of African IVD industry, which is at minimum 150 billion, okay? US dollars per year. This is money has been going. Recently, when we started supplying government, then we put up adverts calling people. I saw we wanted 100 people. We got applicants, 6,800. Then we said, so how do we share the jobs? We want to give all of you, but how? But imagine those 100 people, if we were still importing the products. The Chinese, the American, the Indian who's manufacturing would do the same. We would call those people from the street to come and get employed to manufacture product coming to Uganda. It's happening right now. So me, I'm so happy that we are waking up.
Okay.
The challenge is, the other challenge of financing you're going to face as an innovator is how to manage the money. And when this money is given to you, how do you manage that you deliver the project to completion like this and pay back the loans? There's that short term, but as I told you, it is something that you can agree. These guys are here, they have a lot of money, these ones. A lot, some of it, they don't even know where to put it. Even other banks. What about government? Do you know how much government is giving us to put up these projects? Do you know that once you have successfully executed the product, government gives you off-takes to purchase these products? So, in conclusion, me, I'm encouraging us very many people to come up and we industrialize our country. Thank you so much. I hope I answered you.
Yes, you did. You did. And let's go to URA. Peter, are there tax reliefs for companies investing in value addition and industrial innovation? You grow your idea, it's such a great innovation like this one here, you invest in value addition. The moment it appears anywhere in the press, URA comes for you. So, are there tax reliefs for such companies investing in industrial innovation and value addition?
Thank you so much, Kanare. My name is Peter Twesgamkama. I head the region, the Southwestern region, in the Department of Domestic Taxes Office. I'm so privileged to be here. I'm here representing the Commissioner General of URA. Thank you so much, Kanare, for that question. And I want to begin by appreciating Bishop Sheldon and the church generally. The church has been a great partner in the mission that we are on, the mission of liberating our economy from economic dependence. That is why we mobilize this revenue. Bishop, with your permission, I ask to tell these people that Ankole Diocese is one of the top revenue contributors that we have in this country. So when you see the church, I think I need to repeat it. Ankole Diocese is one of the top revenue contributors that we have in this country. Now, what does it mean? I want to build the point that he talked about what the church is doing. When you see the church coming up and embracing some of these initiatives, my friend here said when he entered here, he was very happy. I visited one of the dioceses. Me, I left when I had a lot of rage because I was asking myself, why are we poor? And you want to know what this diocese has done? This diocese has passed a decree, and it is saying that each and every church, wherever they are, wherever they have land, they should plant at least 5 acres of coffee. Can you imagine? Each and every church, wherever they are, they should plant 5 acres of, yes, coffee. Minimum of 2. The bishop has corrected me. Now, I come from the Anglican church. And when I looked at the village, our village church, I realized we have a lot of land, but we have been renting it out to people, and they have been giving us 200,000 per year. Can you imagine? 200,000 per year, and we have a lot of church. So I want to thank the church for such partnerships. And when the church is now involved in some of these projects, I can assure you there's no way we can fail to achieve the development that we want. There's no way we can fail to achieve the economic independence that we are all working towards. Now, Canary, I want to briefly talk about the basics. We have been accused so much of using a lot of jargons, and people fail to understand the simple terms of taxation. Now, what does it mean for someone who has started a business, and specifically a manufacturer? In URA, there are some things that you need to consider. And I'll briefly talk about the taxes that may be applicable to you. Briefly, One of the taxes is pay as you earn. Pay as you earn is the tax that we charge on all employees. And the only thing you need to know, definitely we expect that if you have any startup, you have come up with such a value addition equipment, you have some of the people that are helping you. So long as anyone is earning any amount that is above 235,000 per month, definitely we expect you to register and you start deducting pay as you earn off the salary of that employee. We also have withholding tax that is applicable on some of the supplies and some of the inputs. We also have import duty that may be applicable also on some of the items that we import. Now this one I will explain later on because some of the incentives now definitely come in under import duty. We also have value added tax that is applicable on some of the processes, just in case you deal in taxable supplies as per the tax schedules. Then we also have local excise duty that may be applicable on the manufactured items. So what obligation do you have as a manufacturer? The number one obligation is to ensure that when you start, you register with URA. Now, when you register with URA, you're issued what we call a tax identification number. That is a unique number that we shall use to know you, indeed to identify that you are in a certain category and you manufacture a certain type of products. Now, let's look at some of the incentives. The number one incentive that you need to know, if you're a manufacturer and you're involved in any business and you have not yet broken even, in other words, you're still a loss-making entity, which applies to almost each and every person that starts, because you know we have invested heavily in some of these. Number one, we are not going to apply any taxes on you as far as income tax is concerned. The obligation that you have is to ensure that when the financial year ends, you furnish URA with an income tax return and you clearly indicate that you have just started. Definitely, you have not even sold anything, but you're still operating in a loss position. We have got one of the exemptions that I want to spend time on, and this usually applies to mostly the manufacturers, and it is a 10-year income tax exemption. Now, the government of Uganda, through Ministry of Finance, definitely you know that we are also, the government has aimed at promoting industrialization, specifically with the aim of import substitution. The things that we are importing, how best can we manufacture them from here? And one of the things that the government has done is to advance that income tax exemption of 10 years. There are certain conditions that I'm going to briefly highlight. Then for further details, I'm going to also guide you on how best you can access some of this information. Now, what does it mean? What do we consider? Number one, we have capital requirements, and I'm going to concentrate on our investors, the local investors. If you're a local investor and you have invested up to a tune of $300,000 US, and your investment is located outside the upcountry bracket, in other words, you're still within the town setting, you're going to qualify for this exemption. If you're in such a places that are outside the business districts and were considered as upcountry, we are going to require the minimum of $150,000 US. Now, that means that such information, it can be beneficial to you, to whoever is looking at investing in value addition, investing in such things that you are seeing here. And the other condition that you need to look at, we also look at, one, the type of business that you're doing and what inputs are you using. Are you sourcing your inputs locally, or you're sourcing your inputs again from outside Uganda? Remember what I told you, what is the major objective? we want to ensure that we also promote our local people. Now, that your local inputs that you're using, we want you to source them locally. So we are also going to tag some of the requirements and we evaluate what inputs are you using. Are you importing everything or the biggest percentage of it, you're also getting it from here. We shall also look at what is the composition of your labor that you're using at such a facility. Definitely, we also want to create employment. At the end of the day, we want to ensure that there is general development that we have achieved, even to the local person. So we're also going to analyze the nature of the labor that you're using. Are you sourcing your labor locally or you have expatriates? So definitely we're also going to look at the percentage. Is it within 75%? Is it below 75%? Those are some of the things that we're going to consider. We have got some of the other initiatives, for example, the exemption of 6% on withholding tax. And this one applies to compliant taxpayers. If you're a businessman, this one may not only look at the manufacturers, and you go and you purchase, you supply something somewhere, and whoever you have supplied to is a designated withholding agent, you're going to realize that at the time of paying you, they're going to pay you less by 6% in most times. If it is also a vertible supply, you're likely to also suffer another withholding tax, which we call VAT withholding tax. Now, we have said that if you're a compliant taxpayer, we are going to give you that leeway. The only thing you have to do is to apply for the withholding tax exemption. At this moment, I want to take this opportunity to also pass on this information to all the people here. In case you have a business and you want to benefit from some of this, definitely the applications are now open for the coming financial year. Apply, and if you're compliant, we are going to give you this exemption on the supplies, the withholding tax exemption. Now, Canary, the biggest challenge that we face with some of our startups is lack of information. And when you're a startup, we have so many capital deductions that we allow. We also allow startup costs. We also allow any costs that you incurred in making research. I know Nelson told us the time that he spent in making some of this research. But what I've realized, most of our people, one, they don't have this information. At the same time, they don't want to register with URA. So you start, and then you stay there. At the end of 5 years, URA will come and discover you that you have been in business and you have not been complying. Now, what does that mean? Sometimes you find even some of this information that you had, you no longer even do what? You no longer have it. Someone asks you, okay, how much did you incur to start up such a startup? You don't even have that information. So the general call that I'm going to call upon all startups, all local manufacturers, is to ensure that once you get involved in such a business, the number one thing you need to do is register with URA. Nelson here will tell you the process that he has gone through. And if he had not registered with URA, some of the incentives that he received from URA, I don't think he would have gotten them, the incentives that he got from government. Because where we are headed to now, Uganda Revenue Authority is no longer just about mobilizing revenue, but we are also business facilitators. We facilitate business because we want to partner together. If you have been following the media, you realize that it is very hard for you now to conduct any business without a tax identification number. You're going to go to register even as a normal person, you're going to go to register for your land title, and then one question they're going to ask you, are you registered? My colleagues from Equity Bank are here. They will tell you to advance a loan, a business loan to you, especially you people who are in business. They're going to ask for basically like two things. They will ask for a tax identification number. They're also likely to ask you for a tax clearance certificate. A tax clearance certificate, you can only get it if you register with URA and you comply as per the minimum compliance standards. As I conclude, Canary, most of this information is available on our URA portal, and I'm going to encourage you to visit it. The time allocated here is not enough, but at an opportune time, we can explore further this discussion about the incentive. But I will direct you to our URA portal, where you're going to find a brochure that is specifically talking about these initiatives that are specifically targeting startups and that are specifically targeting value addition. Thank you so much, Canary.
Thank you very much, Peter. And a round of applause for the panel. I'm going to take 2-3 comments. If you can summarize your question or comment in just 2 minutes, 2-3 comments from the audience, and then we end this panel. Two, 3 comments from the panel, from the audience. Either a comment or a question. Someone help me move the mic around. Just summarize this side, your name, institution you're representing, your question or comment. Please keep it under just 2 minutes. This side.
Thank you, Canary. I'm Father Ernest from Chitwe, Ntungamo. I want to appreciate the panelists for the contribution and presentation. I wanted to supplement my Lord Bishop on the role of the church, since it's where I belong. And you asked him a question about faith-based institutions, how they are contributing to economic transformation and development. I would like to supplement or comment that on this planet Earth, we all survive because we have faith. We do things because we have faith. We have hope that we can really do them. And I have been thinking about this theme and the comment of the president, value addition, value addition. The late Pope Francis was enforcing Laudato Si. Why? Because the world has become a global village in which we live in, and we who are living at this time and space will have to hand it over to the next generation. And the sole purpose is to leave it a better place than we found it. Therefore, the very purpose as to why human beings are on earth is that they add some value on earth. Everything we do, families, business, the life we live every day, we want to be better. We are adding on value. So, and the church communicates every day with people, even to the lowest person. The church is there. So it can be the mouthpiece of developing and changing the attitude and mentality of people. To have, like, for example, right attitude towards coffee growing in our country. So I really feel that this is something great, and as faith-based organizations, churches, we must really come out. I have seen, the Bishop has talked about it. In our diocese, the Archbishop Lambert Binomujisha talks about it. Priests in the entire diocese, we are talking about it. In our parishes, we are doing this. And it will be good if we really come out to mobilize people, because we talk to them every day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Ernest Sunday, on the role and contribution of the church in development. There's a comment just behind there. Second last.
My name is Rabban Kanywa. I happen to teach at Gume at Ndare School also. Right now I'm a director of Global High School in Barara. I'm representing, I came in a group of Barara Business Club. One, my question goes to the equity group, the banking sector. You said you care for youth and women, and these are vulnerable groups. But in most cases, when such people come to the bank to look for money for a certain project, you start asking, what percentage of the equity do you have? Can you show us your bank statement? Remember, the person is just starting. Why can't you sympathize with those groups? Thank you.
Thank you. Last comment. No ladies? I would give this last one to a lady. Anyone? Honorable.
Thank you so much, Canary. My name is Atrida Allen from Intercity Agencies, Mbarara. My question, actually it's not a question, but it's a disappointment to the URA. I started my business way back in 2015, and after 4 years in business, I got a challenge. I was filing the returns, but when I got a challenge, my child got sick. So I went to India for almost a year, and my business collapsed. When the business collapsed, they kept on demanding me. Now they are demanding me over 15 million, and yet the business collapsed. They asked me for evidence of that sick child. I presented them to the URA offices in Mbarara, but up to now, they want to freeze my account. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. We'll do our parting shots as we also answer the questions that have been asked. Beginning with the equity question.
Thank you. Thank you, moderator. And thank you from the question that came in from Bara Investment Club. And I'm glad right here, I'm glad to be in the middle of people that would attest to the fact that we've been part and parcel of a lot of the innovations that are going on. I'm glad to see partnerships that have thrived. My Bishop Chair and his investment club, but also my neighbors here, including Dr. Magola. I think they have, from the church, it has come out very clearly, and also from a lot of the testaments that you can see. It takes a very different approach for us to begin start tackling the unique issues in our economy. And I think one of the things that is there is definitely the investment clubs and circles, and how we actually go out and begin start preparing them to become bankable. I think for Mbara Investment Club, we can have a conversation with them, but certainly I know that one of the things that we're doing is building a base of information, not to just look at the immediate, but also look at what the future potential is. For us to begin start taking ourselves forward, like URA has indicated, we need to begin to start moving to an age where we begin to put together as much information on the business that we are doing. It enables all of us actually, one, keep records, two, take a greater view on the business and be able to do much more in future. I can testify to the fact that without equity, no other bank was touching churches. So yes, we do actually come out and we lend to the churches. Not many banks would actually come out and say that we can lend to a church. Not many banks would come out and touch many innovators projects, but we come out and we actually touch these innovators projects. And sometimes it goes a long way for you to be able to have that conversation and relationship with the bank. Thank you, Canary.
Thank you. MHS, parting shots, and my question to you would be, because I see government represented here in the room, I see Ministry of Agriculture, I see the Secretariat of STI, and many other institutions of government. So my question to you is, how best can the commercial banks and government support local production of, essentials?
Thanks, Canary. That's a very nice question. How can government and commercial banks support innovators to manufacture and produce and see a product on the market. One, like I mentioned, already the presidential initiative through the Secretariat of Science and Technology is already providing support in terms of financing. You know, most people actually get stuck by looking at only one thing, money, money, money. But these, like so far, there are so many ways of support. One, there's technical support. Two, there's finance support. Two, there is moral support. Do you know what it means when you have an idea and you walk into president's office or somewhere and they say, wow, we like the idea, we will support you. The energy you get as an entrepreneur when you are leaving that meeting is actually going to take you far better. Even before the financing comes, you will find, you will start thinking even outside, you start radiating and see problem solved. So one, there is actually financing. And I don't want, because this is public knowledge, we have already received, for example, in terms, like for Microhim, we have already received a letter of award to support us, do pre-qualifications, buy equipment. This is because they have evaluated and seen that the idea we have is actually a good idea. That's number one. The commercial banks, what I would plead for them to do, like three things. One, for such ideas like Nelson is, like Dr. Magola's, like ours, you don't ask for money tomorrow. These are long-term projects. So the structuring of loans, commercial loans are very good loans. But if you don't structure them very well, if you don't look at the cycle very well and understand how to structure, then they will misunderstand you, and in the end you start pulling ropes. But that's one point. The second point is, I don't want to say that reduce on the red tape. You know, there's too much red tape in there. This is not right, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. But what I advise fellow Ugandans, because for me, I would wish that all Ugandans actually have something like this, say that we dominate, we can leave other countries to do other things. For us, we concentrate on industrialization. Because that's the only way to go. This is the only way we are going to liberate ourselves. So, the other way to handle this issue is sit down with the banks. Do a feasibility study. Once someone who has money sees that his money is going to come back, he is going to reduce on the red tape. But for starters, go to UDB. There's a bank called Uganda Development Bank. That bank, once they understand you, they will support you. Even their red tape will come down. For them, theirs is a bit lower. And then you migrate, you keep on graduating to higher banks like that. But once, for me, the whole thing is that please wake up and find an idea. This idea, understand it very well. So when you talk to someone, like the way Tugume was telling us today in the morning there, who would not finance such a thing? You are earning, currently you are earning, the country is spending so many tons of coffee going out, but they are earning, how many, 72? You said? How many? $1 almost $1, $1. But when you process, can you imagine what those guys are doing to get $72? They are just drying your coffee, they pack it, they maybe sometimes dry, and send it back. Can you imagine? These are, we are going to go there. You will see, it's not rocket science. So once the idea is good, choosing what to do is very, very important. The financing will come. So my idea my very big plea to everyone, to all Ugandans, is that wake up, dream, don't fear. And sometimes I don't like telling people many processes. You know, when you tell someone the whole chain of what will happen and he knows too much, the person is going to get scared. So sometimes it's also good to not to know too much. Say that you get the courage to start. Once you start today, tomorrow you will know something else.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Bishop Sheldon, your parting shot, your last word, and this, you can answer my question. Given the church's widespread footprint, how can it partner with, the financial institutions, the banks, and then government to improve access to credit for the innovators and industrialists?
I would like to begin by saying people in business, they call it risk. In faith, in religious terms, we call it faith. Hebrews 11:1. Faith is being sure of what you hope for. You've not seen it, you've touched it, but you have faith in it. It is what drives us also. The same with business people. In terms of appeal, my appeal would go to the ordinary people, and I want to congratulate Tugume, our son, doctor, for the 5 gone and dreaming big. And when I was coming, I sent him a photograph. I saw a rainbow, and I took a photograph of it. And I always love to research. Go and research on what rainbow means. I saw it had good words of, after going through a lot of suffering and pain, there will be great opportunities, gold, something like that. May God help you to get there. My appeal to you also, to Gume, is that have in focus your mother, whom you mentioned. I think she's even the one who educated you. Am I right? Do I remember well? Even me, it is my mother. Don't ask me about my father. I don't know. I didn't get a shilling from there. Think always about your mother when you are doing this business. You will have something to get, but think about the ordinary person. Let us all think about the ordinary people, and we empower them economically. They don't need a lot, and yet even us, we shall get something. Let's go for win-win situation. Let's not go for a winner takes it all. Government, come in and support us more. The priest has said it further there. Hey, people who don't understand church. We are on LC1. There is nothing we don't know. We relate with people to the lowest level. If you support church, and if church comes in and we don't sleep, this country will turn around in terms of using the potential that we have to develop. It will take those who have an eye to he has told you, Ankole Diocese, our projects, we pay about 3 billion every year to government, roughly, our projects, in taxes. We are not scared of tax. We try to be transparent. There are many people who avoid paying tax. And when you get into a problem, it becomes a very, very big one. So may we be engaged, but also be, we appeal to you also. Let me say this message. Yesterday I had a business person I was talking to from Kampala. I was in Kampala yesterday. Top business, foreigner. He was saying there is a big challenge. People run after business people. Even on small projects, they have not paid. They bring KCCA, they bring photographers, they put you on handcuffs, they make a ramatazamaz. There is a word that Muhammad Ali, I think, was associated with Muhammad Ali. They make a big scene out of a small incident. And these are small innovators, small business people. They are starting, and then they are scared. And actually, he told me, this friend, he said the guy is going back to his country because it's too much. So please, let us have a good relationship, tax people with the innovators, the people who are starting small, and also let the innovators, the business people be transparent, and we all need each other. I think that helps.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, URA, you want to answer the Annette talked about that they're so disappointed in you and how you work.
Thank you so much, Annette. Now, to everyone who is here, URA operates a self-assessment regime. What that simply means, it means you as the businessman, you have an obligation to declare to URA your business transactions, which is done either monthly, depending on who you are and the type of taxes you're registered for, and also annual, especially for that concerning income tax. What it means if you don't do that, URA is going to assess you with a little information that it has. Now, it's unfortunate that my sister there suffered such, but in most cases, this is what I normally encourage all startups, all businesses. Get 1 day in a year, just 1 day in a year, and visit a URA office, just 1 day. We are facing a big challenge of unqualified tax accountants, unqualified tax agents that have kind of put a very wide gap between the taxman and the taxpayer. And some of these people don't even allow you to interact with the taxman face to face. These are some of the challenges we have also had with our importers. You've been seeing in the news where we have been saying that for now, we are going to kind of start restricting groupages, people who are in importation. Whereas you can import as a group, when you reach Nakawa or you reach Mombasa, we also want to know you personally, who is in charge of the goods now that have come in, not necessarily going through so many hurdles, and you find that you're piling up, all of you, and you're all clearing as if the goods are for one person. Why are we doing this? We are doing all this because we want to get connected. We want to get connected to the taxpayer themselves. Now, we are going to have a discussion on it after this, and I will try to get to the matter, what exactly transpired. As I conclude, Canary, I want to briefly tell the general audience the pledge that we have as URA, and our pledge is to ensure that we maintain the engagements as much as possible. As I talk now, we have designated an entire department that is charged with the responsibility of educating the taxpayers. Now, we are also going to do further. We are going to decentralize this department up to the regional levels, up to the station levels. And their responsibility is, one, to ensure that they educate the taxpayer, and the taxpayer knows their rights and their obligations. And whereas we do that, of course, we are aiming at ensuring that we reduce on this gap between us, the taxman, and you, the taxpayers. So, just for emphasis, get 1 day, just 1 day, and ensure that you visit any nearest URA office. In the southwestern region, we have offices that are spread across. We have an office in Chotera, we have an office in Masaka, we have an office in Mbarara, we have an office in Rukunjiri, we have an office in Ishaka, Bushenyi, we have an office in Kabale, and most recently, we also have an office in Chisoro. Now, those offices are concerned with the domestic taxes. In case of any issue, and you believe that it needs face-to-face, I will kindly request you that you visit the URA office physically. Don't allow someone to represent you and they give you information that you're not aware of. Please ensure that you cross-check the information, and also you visit the URA to prove indeed that the tax that they are telling you to pay, it is the right tax. Thank you so much, Canary.
Thank you, Peter. Where is Christine Muga? She came all the way from Kapchorwa and she's insisted she wants to ask this question. Where's Christine? Christine Muga from Kapchorwa. Where? Someone please take the mic. Christine? Oh, at the back. All right, in the meantime, I want to appreciate all of you for at least sparing time and coming all the way to Ntungamo or Ruashamire to be part of the Africa Business Forum. This is not something that is happening just this year. This is going to be continuous each and every year. Let's get our last question from Christine and then end this panel.
Thank you very much. My names are Christine Muga from Captura, CEO Mount Elgon Women in Specialty Coffee. It's not a question, but an appreciation. I want to thank Mr. Tugume. Thank you very much for mentoring us as women. Our major buyer of our green bean from Elgon region is Inspire Africa. They gave us a lot of capacity, and our coffee will score 84% and above CAP score. And this has brought women from very far. As I speak, I've led a delegation of 40 women to come and run tomorrow to bring up women of Africa. So, Mr. Tugume, your women are around. We've camped in the nearest center here. We arrived late, and the athletes who are women are resting. And after resting, they are going to have very good lunch so that they will have energy to run. And our races tomorrow are 42 kilometers, 21 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and the elderly like me will run 5 kilometers. So I request all the elders to register with me so that we help the youth tomorrow to run very well. Thank you very much. When I go back to Elgon region, what should I take?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Christine. And a round of applause for our panel here. I request Vision Bearer CEO, Inspire Africa Group, to come on the podium, take a picture with the panelists together with the board chair. In the meantime, I want to recognize the presence of officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, led by Dr. Gerard Charlo, the Commissioner of Coffee Development. Thank you so much for being here with us. I would like to recognize, he's right there, I'd like to recognize the presence of Dr. Matthias Magora, who is the founder and managing director, Day Biopharma, and Bella Grain. Thank you so much, Dr. Magora, for being here. I would like to recognize the CEO of Vision Group, Don Wanyama. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'd like to photographer. I'd like to recognize, okay, is there coming? I'd like to recognize, of course, Equity Group, represented by the Acting Executive Director, Clever Serumaga. Thank you so much for being here with us. Honorable Kama Tenet, Woman Member of Parliament from Tungamo. Thank you so much. She's right there. Uganda Tourism Board officials represented here. Uganda Bati Limited officials represented. RDC in Tungamo, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you. I want to remind you of the coffee marathon happening tomorrow. We'll be at the venue as early as 5 a.m. The coffee marathon will be happening tomorrow. Yes, you're done. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. We also have friends of Inspire Africa Group all the way from the United States. They traveled all the way from the United States. Susan and Albert. Susan and Albert, where are you seated? Thank you so much for being here with us. I'd like to recognize our sponsors, Aquafina, Equity Group, Uganda Tourism Board, STI, Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, Office of the President, New Vision, UBC, NBS Television, Uganda Bati, and many others that I'll be mentioning. Now, at this point, allow me get into our second panel. Elijah, wherever you are, make your way to the podium. We'll get into the second panel. And to set pace for this second panel, I would like to invite Acting Executive Director for Equity Group, Clever Serumaga, who will be giving his keynote address that will usher us into the second panel. Mr. Serumaga, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Canary. To the honorable ministers present today, and all the government officials here present, the Inspire Africa team, distinguished guests, fellow business leaders here, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Perhaps before I dive into my remarks, allow me to begin with a confession. And this is a coffee-inspired observation. This morning, while watching the Inspire Africa Barista Championship, I realized two things. First, drink. It's an art right now. And second, I think I now need to hire a barista to just explain my morning coffee. Because when I asked for a coffee, one of the competitors asked me whether I preferred a single origin medium roast with floral notes or a Robusta dark blend with hints of cocoa and guava. I told him, you know what? Honestly, I've only come to give a speech. Just give me any coffee. But that's the beauty of what we're witnessing today. Coffee is being elevated, not just in quality, but in culture, in value, in pride. And that is exactly the story of this coffee park. Turning back to my speech, my name is Clever Serumaga. I'm the Acting Executive Director of Equity Bank, representing our group directors who are supposed to be here. And as I give my speech, I'll focus on today's theme, the theme of this Africa Business Forum, which is innovation, industrialization, and value addition for Africa Renaissance. It's a great honor to stand before you today, not just as a banker, but as a proud advocate of a prosperous, self-reliant Africa. We are gathered at a transformative juncture for our country, Uganda, but also for our continent, and a business forum whose theme demands more than just rhetoric. It calls for bold action. And today, we celebrate not just the launch of a coffee park, but rather And today we celebrate not just the launch of a coffee park, but rather the awakening of an idea whose time has come. That Africa must not just grow wealth, but we must add value to it. We must own it, and we must lead in transformation. On behalf of the Equity Bank Uganda, and of course the larger Equity Group, I warmly commend Mr. Nelson Tugume and all the stakeholders behind this coffee park. It's a model for inclusive and sustainable industrial growth centered in Uganda, but also across the entire Africa. And this resonates with Equity Bank's recovery and resilience plan, which is our blueprint for the transformation of Africa. Our role at Equity is very clear, to be the engine room for inclusive economic transformation. And that's exactly what Wanok was explaining. Through this plan, which we are calling the Africa Recovery Resilience Plan, we've mobilized approximately $6 billion over the next 5 years to fund and support key sectors, including agribusiness, manufacturing, health, education, and energy. This plan is not just a funding framework, it's a philosophy that's grounded in equity, resilience, and empowerment. And it aligns perfectly with today's celebration, the shift from exporting raw coffee beans to exporting premium African brands, stories, and jobs. So let me start with the first theme, which is innovation. And as I speak about innovation, I speak about innovation of finance that works for everyone. Innovation is at the heart of everything that we're doing at Equity Bank and Equity Group. Through our digital platforms and inclusive financial models that Wanok was talking about, we've opened doors of formal banking to millions of people across this region who were previously excluded. Across the entire Equity Group, over 18.9 million customers have enjoyed our ecosystems. And you won't imagine, 54% of these are women. In Uganda, Equity Bank has increased access to financial services for women, youth, through our Young Africa Works initiative. We've trained over 400,000 women and youth in financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and digital skills. Now, these are not just numbers. They are lives that we've transformed. There are women, coffee farmers, who now own accounts, access credit, invest in farm-to-market strategies. There are rural youth who are becoming agro-processors, baristas that we saw today, exporters and brand creators. The second theme, industrialization. And here we're talking about local and global reach. Africa's future lies in industrialization, but not just in factories like this. It lies in industrial systems that benefit Africa first. This coffee park that we're seeing here today will be roasting, has roasting plants. We saw them, we saw packaging lines, value chain innovation. But it means more than that. It means jobs at home. It means more export earning because we've added value. And of course, it means that we're retaining more value in Uganda. As a financial partner, at Equity, we're ready to finance cooperatives, processors, exporters, the logistics, entrepreneurs throughout this entire coffee value chain that has been created by this plant. And through our climate finance framework, we are supporting climate-smart coffee farming and processing to ensure that the coffee industry grows, but it grows sustainably. Lastly, value addition without women at the center of it, you can say is almost dead for economic growth. We believe that empowering women is the most effective way to lift household, communities, and nations. To date, at Equity Bank, Uganda, we've disbursed almost $180 million in the last almost 2 years. That's about 700 billion Uganda shillings in credit to women-led enterprises in Uganda, with special emphasis to agribusiness, trade, and education. We've also supported the formation of savings credit groups among rural women, integrating them into the formal economy. Our goal is simple: turn smallholder farmers into agribusinesses and agribusinesses into exporters. That's our ambition, and that's a goal that we focus on. And that's exactly what this coffee park does. It's creating space for women-owned SMEs in roasting, value chain logistics, branding, and more. As I conclude, the time is now. Africa's renaissance will not come from outside. It will be built, owned, and led by Africans just like Nelson, innovating, industrializing, and adding value every step of the way. And it was very interesting just listening to the panelists in terms of what they are actually creating here in Uganda. And we are working and supporting them. So let us look at this coffee park, not as an end, but a beginning a symbol, I think as you look at it, just look at it as a symbol of what's possible when purpose meets capital. When vision meets collaboration, and when African banks back African enterprise. Equity Bank will remain steadfast in this mission to transform lives and livelihoods by economically empowering people to build inclusive prosperity. So let us rise together. Let us innovate together. Let us industrialize together. And let's add value, not just to products, but to people. The Africa we want is not a dream, it's a decision. We're deciding now, and we're making it right here, right now. Thank you. May God bless Uganda. May God bless Africa. May God bless the Africa Coffee Plan. Thank you so much.
A very big round of applause for the Executive Director of Equity Bank, Mr. Serumaga. We thank you so much for those words. They were quite deep. I know the audience has picked something. And allow me to thank you so much, Equity Group. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here mainly because of Equity Group. They have supported this forum very, very much. Thank you so much, Equity Group. Allow me also to recognize our other sponsors and partners. Uganda BAT, we are very, very grateful. The managing director is represented here by Mr. Ian Lumanyika, the head of corporate affairs. Mr. Ian, we thank you so much. You can stand up for recognition. Thank you very, very much. We thank our other sponsors and partners. We thank Stir and Tube. Thank you so much. We thank Crown Beverages. We thank Uganda Tourism Board. And most importantly, we thank STI, Science, Technology, and Innovation Secretariat. The team from STI, please, thank you so much, represented by the acting minister, Dr. Mwichirize Cosmas. Doctor, thank you so much, and your team. We thank you so much for your support. We thank our other partners, of course, in the media, NBS, UBC, and Vision Group. Vision Group is represented by the CEO, Mr. Don Wanyama. I think he has stepped out a bit. He's been seated right here. Don, thank you so much, and your team at the Vision Group. We thank you so much, our other partners who have joined us here, for making this happen. And I should also add that the forum is airing, it has been airing live on Africa's biggest business TV, CNBC Africa. CNBC stroke Forbes. You know what Forbes means. That's the biggest business powerhouse in the world. So this forum is being broadcast across the continent. We are very, very grateful to CNBC Africa for supporting us. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I will ask my colleague, Elijah, to come and host our second panel. Our program is running very well. I want to repeat that lunch is almost ready, but there are snacks and lots of coffees to my right and at the back. If the stomach is shaking a bit, you can grab a bite as the kitchen gets ready. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Duncan. I greet you all in your various capacities. My name is Elijah Tuliagu Manawe. I'm the Strategic Communications Officer at the Secretariat of Science, Technology, and Innovation. And of course, I am very proud to be part of the conversations going on here. And perhaps to briefly take you into the sentiments and particular attachments that I have with the region, and watching such monumental innovations taking shape within the vicinity really gives me a lot of pride. And pride indeed is not a bad thing, but it's something that we should stimulate to give us confidence that we can do more as Africans, we can do more as Ugandans in particular. Before I introduce the panel, I'll briefly take you through what the Secretariat of Science, Technology and Innovation is, and the key mandates or the core mandates, so you can best understand and get the context of the major obligations or mandates that were bestowed upon us by the Fountain of Honor. We have 8 thematic areas, and productivity acceleration is just one of those where this venture, this innovation venture, is under. The core mandates are categorized in 3, where the theme for the panel discussions will be falling under. And of course, the first one is productivity acceleration as a core mandate. The other one is import substitution. And the third one is export promotions. So as I introduce my panel, I have 4 people on the panel, 4 panelists. And the very first one, who is also our host for this event, is the Honorable Jocelyn Bata Kamateneti. You're very welcome to take your seat, the Honorable Minister, rather Honorable Woman Member of Parliament. Because I'm more conversant with addressing conversations within the Honorable Minister, you'll excuse me for that. You're very welcome, Honorable Woman Member of Parliament for Ntungamo Municipality. You'll take your seat this side. Yes, District Woman Member of Parliament, Ntungamo. You're welcome. The other panelists on this panel that will be discussing the very pertinent topic is Mr. Ian Rumanyika. Mr. Ian Rumanyika is the Corporate Affairs Manager at Uganda Bati. You're welcome to take your seat. The third panelist is key to the heart of the Secretariat of Science, Technology and Innovation, and we have particularly supported him in the development of drugs locally and vaccines, and that's Dr. Matthias Magola. Dr. Matthias, he stepped out briefly, but Dr. Matthias Magola, wherever you are welcome to take your seat. The fourth is Mr. Amos Tindiebwa, who is the Managing Director at Fresh Cuts. You're welcome to take your seat. As we wait for Dr. Matthias Magola, I'll briefly introduce you to the topic that we were going to be discussing this afternoon. And the topic for this particular panel is bottlenecks in Africa's innovation, industrialization, and value addition journey. Value addition is indeed the way to go for Uganda, a developing economy, not only for Uganda, but also for the African continent, we've taken quite a number of strides. And before we do kick the discussions, I will make it a bit interactive right away from the start. And I'll start by asking the audience to name, and this is particularly to identify how much of knowledge we have in the arena of innovation, specifically scientific innovations. Name at least 3 innovations, Ugandan innovations, local innovations that you know. Anyone? About 3, you can just put up your hand and the microphone will be passed to you to name just one innovation that you are associated with, that you think has successfully gotten onto the market. Duncan, you can move the microphone around if there is any individual that knows an innovation, a Ugandan innovation or an African innovation. Let's widen the scope. There is a hand at the back end. You're welcome, Dr. Matthias Magola. You can take your seat. There's a hand at the back end. Just give the lady the microphone to... Yes, please. Your name and the innovation.
Covidex. My name is Naika. I work with Equity Bank. Covidex, which helped us during the COVID period.
Thank you, Naika. Any other one to name just one innovation that, in your view, there's a hand here, there's this gentleman, one innovation that you believe has successfully taken shape within the geographical boundaries of Uganda, but also on the African continent?
My name is Richard. I'm a public sector consultant. One innovation that I know about is the Chira EMV, the electronic motor vehicle.
Chira EV. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I've seen some buses, Kayola, and the like. I think that's a successful one. Thanks.
Thank you. This lady right in front of me.
Thank you very much. I am Dr. Isabella Pugh, the head anesthesia at Kabale University. So the innovation I have in mind that I'm aware of is the malaria product from Microhim. I attended the launch in Tinda, and I think this far they've really done great work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's another one here. I'd ask for 3, but we can do 5. That you believe has successfully hit the market. Under the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, Office of the President, we have the idea to market journey. And this journey, when you come for the support, we categorize you from idea to viable product, rather idea, prototype, viable product to commercialization. You can go ahead. And
Thank you. Walter is my name, Managing Director, Scogem Enterprises Limited. One innovation which has inspired me as a technologist is an organization using waste biomass, talk of waste products from agricultural produces.
What's the name of the innovation?
They are combusting biomass to generate electricity by taking it through pyrolysis method, and they are able to supply the rural community with electricity, and also the refuse or the residues from the combusted biomass is used for making fertilizer and manure, but also...
In the interest of time, just name the innovation. And we thank you though, thank you for your input. One last one and we move to today's agenda. There's a hand
Thank you.
Yes,
Good
please.
afternoon.
Yes. Go
My
ahead.
name is Stephen Barievuga. I'm from the Uganda Registration Services Bureau. Our mandate is to register intellectual property. The innovation that I want to talk about is the Rwenzori Mountains of the Moon Geographical Indications Coffee. Geographical indications is about Uganda identifying the unique aspects that make a particular product stand out from the global market. Now, Uganda's only geographical indication so far is the Rwenzori Mountains Geographical Indication Coffee. It's from the Rwenzori Mountains, and the reason it stands out is because it has traceability, it comes and grows from an area that has unique features, and it's selling like hotcake in the European market. As the URSB, we've made contact with partners and ensured that this unique coffee is positioned as a product from Uganda.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. So we shall move. The reason I did this was to speak to our pride and confidence that we have in our innovations, but also to have the culture of celebrating our own, that we're on a journey, a very good journey towards that, but I also encourage us to own our innovation journeys, our scientific innovation journeys, but also this will also help us in identifying where the different weaknesses are instead of celebrating other people's achievements. And that speaks to so much, including our own history. I'll be really moving quickly into the panel discussions. And it's not by mistake that these discussions will be happening here. Like I said earlier, my mother does root from this particular area, Ntungamo district. And if I can give you a bit of childhood recap, when I visited as a young boy in Ntungamo district, Rentobo here, in the hills of Rentobo, I'm a born of Kampala, but the first time I visited, my first encounter was a really, really rural area that, and my personal experiences to share this with you on a lighter moment was a house that, or a community, if I may put it that way, that was really underdeveloped, full of rats. My first experience was rats and dog bites, but we moved away from that. And really seeing this here gives me courage, and that the African continent is taking shape, and Uganda in particular is on a rightful journey to economic development. Well, the panel today is going to be discussing a key issue, and I'll recap again, and that's the bottlenecks to Africa's innovation, industrialization, and value addition journey. And the first question will go straight away to, I'll make it a universal question to my panelists. And the first question will be, on the panel we have innovators, we have remarkable names within the industrial sector, we have leaders or people that do influence policy, and these will be casting an eye or putting a spotlight on today's topic. For the innovator, I'll start with Dr. Matthias Magola to briefly give us a recap into what he thinks on his journey, because he has taken really tremendous steps through the innovation journey. What are the major bottlenecks that you've identified on your journey, and how did you resolve them as an innovator, but also an entrepreneur? Thank you.
Thanks very much for that question. But I usually start with one thing. You know very well, you've heard that currently I've filed more than 100 patents in the US, and I continue to file more. And some of these patents have already been published by the US Patent Office. But the question is one, how are you able to tackle, including diseases that have failed the white man? you read about our patent, the recent one for cancer, for Alzheimer, for malaria, for HIV, using very advanced technologies. These have already been published by US Patent Office. But how have we been able to do this or to tackle this? Imagine somebody from Africa. I start with one thing. And I'm happy the bishop and the priest talked about these issues. There's one thing that we failed to appreciate. We think we are here alone. We think we came here by mistake. And when the bishops or the religious people tell us about the Creator or about God, we think maybe they are wasting their time. We don't pay attention. We say, after all, they are the ones who are saying these words. But I tell you, if you have faith and you discover the reason why you are here, you will do great things that the world will be amazed. If we believe that everything starts with our Creator God, then we'll be able to do great things that will make a change to the rest of the world. It is not easy. The journey has not been easy at all. But I want to assure you, especially all those people who want to follow in our footsteps of being entrepreneurs. You heard my colleague. He said it's not easy. Don't think we enjoy. We live a life of sacrifice. We face so many rejections, ridicule. People laugh at our ideas. I remember they invited me to a conference in Washington, World Vaccines Congress. And because I do a lot of publications in international journals, so I met all the who and who's in this world, including top professors from Harvard, from Pfizer, from big pharmaceutical companies. Because when they read about my work, my patents and my publications, one of the professors said, "So you are Magola?" I said, "Yes." He said, "We thought you were a robot. How can somebody come from Africa and is able to do this?" So I want to assure everyone here, it is possible, as long as you believe that you are not alone, that you need guidance from the Creator. You will do greater things. The journey is long. Looking for money in Africa is a big challenge. But guess what? We have our president, our government. Our president is a man of vision. And I can tell you, without his guidance, without his support, you will not be here, we will not be seeing a park like this. So I think we clap for our president. Secondly, I appreciate that Ugandans, we need to support our own. We need to support Tugume. Because when government supports something like this, and I understand government also owns a stake in this facility. So when government owns a stake in this facility, it then belongs to you, all Ugandans. It's going to change the course of our country. So we need to continue to give support to this kind of innovation. What we go through as entrepreneurs, you can't believe it. Raising money is a challenge. Nobody wants to look at us. Our competitors, the other side, especially in the US, in Europe, in China, they have cheaper finance. in Africa is a challenge, big problem. You borrowing money at above a 20% interest rate, you can't pay. That's why, and actually, it's a song now that 95% of all companies, they don't see the 10th birthday. So they all collapse, they all crumble. Why?
Yes.
Because we lack the capital, we lack the support.
Mr. Magola, on that very particular issue, which cuts across, in dealing with innovations, generally as a country, we've realized that credit access and financing is a cross-cutting challenge. What are the different endeavors, not only as an entrepreneur, have you undertaken to influence so that we can have better financing structures, better credit access for the various innovative ventures, not only on policy influence, but also on engaging key stakeholders that are affected, but also that can implement creation of better policies in the same arena?
I think our government has just realized that China has been able to achieve this kind of acceleration in terms of growth because they have been supporting their own. Because the cheapest capital that I really request our government, they need to support entrepreneurs. Don't leave them to banks because banks will not take them anywhere. Banks give money and it's short term and the interest is very, very high. So if government can invest in parastatals like UDC, like UDB, so that entrepreneurs are able to at least get money at a low interest rate, you will see the boom in this country.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Magola, for your submissions. I will move to the Honorable Woman Member of Parliament, the District Woman Member of Parliament in Tungamo District, to answer particularly on policy level. The August House has been on the spotlight for neglecting partly or initiating policies that the innovators, the scientists, think have not helped them in terms of advancing their innovations to commercialization. What are the different endeavors have you undertaken as a leader in the area? And thank you for hosting us once again.
Thank you so much, our moderator. Once again, I take this opportunity to welcome you in Tungamo, a blessed district. Before I go to your question, I want to join everyone here to thank the President of Uganda. There is something the Bishop talked about, dreaming at night, forgetting your dream during the day. But I think in this case for Inspire Africa, the dream was dreamt at night. They remembered it during the day. And as you know, everything comes from God, and He's always there for us. He sent us an angel, who is the President of Uganda, to see us through, to help us to see that Inspire Africa realizes this dream. We thank God and we keep thanking Him, and we pray that He keeps blessing President Museveni and government of Uganda. Another person to thank in this, as a person who has seen this project start from one, if not start from the head. I'm born from this area. I've studied with Tugume. We've grown together. We've been here when there was nothing. We thank the First Lady, Mama Janet, for always being there for us to pray and guide us. I'm very sure she has been there to connect us to the President. And in a special way, we thank the President of Uganda, as Dr. Magora has said. someone who follows up. I'm very sure we cannot spend a month without him communicating. If he doesn't call Tugume, I'm sure he will call me. And if we spend at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm sure Nelson will call.
tabaruke mihanda webale muno wetu president kwicha hamukoro muno ogwa mara wawe Honorable Grace Mary Mugasa, Minister of State for Public Service. Kandi twenda tuchayemerire nija kusaba prisons ban etwebe mbere mu anthems rundi ebizina by'abantu.